We're going to have an amazing episode today talking about the battle of the MVPs. We have Nikola Jokic and we have SGA. Obviously, these are the two MVP frontrunners, but not only that, they are both fighting for their lives to move on to the next round. The series is tied 2-2, so we are going to deep dive into that series and talk about what's going on and who we believe is going to win. Also, today's draft day. So we got to talk about odds. We got to talk about who we believe would be best suited to get that first pick and what all the other implications are and all that other good stuff. And also, word on the streets is that a certain guy in Milwaukee, a superstar franchise player, may be open to playing elsewhere. So this whole draft thing, well, chill, it actually holds a little bit of weight in terms of who may get that first pick because you never know. Giannis may be on the way.
Now remember, understand what open to means. That means that I'm not doing it, but I'll listen. We can sit down and we can have a conversation. We can talk.
We can have a nice civil conversation.
We can talk, and if something sounds good, we can expand the conversation. But I'm not just listening to anybody, because just like we can talk, Ron, we can shut this down real quick. Like you ain't talking about nothing. I'm good. I'm straight. You clearly ain't talking about nothing. So with that being said, yes, there's definitely some implications that Giannis, because if you hear something more than once. I've always been under this impression. If you hear something more than once, you hear it twice, you hear it 200 times, you start thinking, and perception is reality. And don't think for 1 second that Giannis hasn't heard that Giannis needs to get out of Milwaukee. He's heard that more than once, more than twice. So now he's thinking, do I need to get out of here? Is it time for me to leave Milwaukee? Should I consider a trade? Well, of course, now we're at a point where I'll entertain conversation. That doesn't mean he's leaving, but yeah, I'll entertain it.
Yeah, so we'll talk about what that could look like for the landscape of the league and Milwaukee and Giannis and potentially what the draft could look like with that. Also, there was a blowout yesterday, and we also have some other good series too, y'all. So we're going to deep dive into everything. Oh, and by the way, my man Matty Ice is in the building tonight. He is a Celtics guy, so we got to have some Celtics and Knicks talk as well. Yeah. What's good, chat? Y'all make sure y'all like the video, turn on your notification bells. Let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. Swiper isn't here for some reason, but Pin's here, and
I can confirm. I checked in with his dentist. He had a dentist appointment this morning. It's real though, guys. He's not.
Pembroke, what's up, brother? What's up, Pembroke? How you doing, brother?
What's good, Cho? What's good? How you feeling this morning?
Running good, man. It's Monday. It's the playoffs. No doubt. It is Monday. It's the playoffs.
It's my playoffs. It's draft lottery day. Okay,
Ron, we were. I know, Ron, that we were discussing the Denver Nuggets. I think this playoffs, more than any playoffs that I've seen, has been more about the other guys. In the playoffs, it's about your stars. Your stars rise to the occasion and take your teams home. We haven't really had that in these playoffs as much as we've had in the past. In fact, we've had the unsung guys more than anything. If you think about this Oklahoma City series, who has been the guys that have been the most productive and the most influential on this series? Well, one of the guys I think is Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon has been a guy for this Denver team. Like without him, this series could very well have been, flipped on its ear. But I could say the same thing about Oklahoma City. What are they doing without Alex Caruso? Like, despite what SGA is doing, despite what Chet is doing, what are they doing without Alex Caruso and Hartenstein? What are they doing without those two guys?
Cho, what are they doing without Case and Wallace yesterday?
What are they doing without Case and Wallace yesterday? That's a good question, because I'm watching SGA. I'm watching Jamal Murray try to navigate through that two-man game between both him and Joker. And he's always been great at it. Guys play drop. He can stick that 17-footer. Guys go under the screen. He's cracking the long ball. There's no question that that's going on. However, I'm watching Alex Caruso sit in a chair in front of him. I'm watching Alex Caruso get around screens and make things increasingly difficult for Jamal Murray throughout the course of that game. So when he's doing that, that's screwing up their offense. So now you find them 4, 5, 6 seconds left in the shot clock, and now they're left with Aaron Gordon either cleaning up at the rim or with a wide open long ball that he's knocking down. When he does that, that takes so much pressure off both Joker and off Jamal Murray. So I think that a lot of this stuff that we have going on now in the playoffs, in particular with the Denver and Oklahoma City series, I think it's about their unsung guys more than it is about their stars.
Penn, did you just ask what would they do without Casey?
Mm-hmm.
Man, that was the move of the game, man. Sitting Lou Dort's ass down. I think that stretch really won them the game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, let's respect Lou Dort. Okay, Lou Dort been a fantastic.
Let's just we could just tell the truth. We could tell the truth about the game without. It's not disrespect. It's not disrespect.
He's missing shots.
It's not disrespect to admit that he was shooting them out the game. It's not disrespect to admit that if they would have kept doing what they were doing, they would have lost that basketball game.
What's going on?
I'll tell you what I'm not.
All three of us was up there. All three of us was up there. We seen Lou Dort shooting them out the game. We seen Lou Dort sitting. And we seen Casey Wallace come in and save the day. I think it was Casey Wallace, Wiggins, all them dudes. Just like
Casey Wallace, Wiggins, Caruso.
No, Wiggins had 8 points in that third quarter. He was the reason why they were like,
you got shooters, let them shoot. Stop letting this fake shooter shoot. Let the real shooters do their job.
Okay, calling a guy who shot 40% from three a fake shooter is crazy. But I get what you're saying. What I'm not gonna do.
Man, me and Ron tried to tell you, man.
Lord help me. What I'm trying to tell you is this is why you have a team. This is why you employ 17 people. This is why you have a bench. And this is why I think that the OKC Thunder are the deepest team in the league. Y'all want to talk about, one player doing well. You can't do it without shitting on another player. I'm going to say respect to Lou Dort because Lou Dort has been a huge part of why Jokic is struggling in this series. Huge part. He's a huge part of their defense. Yeah, he's not making shots, and that's a very obvious, thing to look at when he's shooting 2 for 10. But I'm just saying this Thunder defense works on a string, and it does not work without Lou Dort. We were talking about Lou Dort DPOY. Remember that? Yeah, he's not some terrible ass player.
It was a brief conversation, but it was a conversation.
And you know who was pushing that issue, Penn? Me, this guy. I was the one putting respect on Lou Dort's name. I'm standing on business by telling you the truth.
He shot
no, he's not. That's not my man. You can pack him up and take him back to Canada with you if he's gonna play like that. If he gonna play like that, this is what I'm saying. Okay. Penn, this is what I'm saying, bro. This is what I'm saying. Like basketball is a day-to-day thing. It's a game-to-game thing. If you're not playing good, what was that? Game 4. If game 4 you are in game 4 completely being a terrorist. I'm talking about that's like friendly fire. He was at the point, what was he, 2 for 11 at this point? Just like, bro, sit your ass down. You're clearly like you're getting in the way. He was getting open looks. The thing about it is when he sat down, the other dudes were getting the same exact looks that he was. There was nothing new being generated. They were getting the same exact looks. The only difference is they were knocking them down. So if me telling the truth about what I saw in game 4 is disrespect, then I'm a disrespectful dude because I'm gonna tell you what I saw. That's just what I saw.
Now, Ox, is there something to be said about riding with the guys who got you here? Now, don't get me wrong. I definitely dig the fact that Coach Daigneault saw that Denver is conceding threes to Lou Dort. That if we're gonna lose with Lou Dort and Alex Caruso cracking the long ball. Those are the guys that we leaving open. No doubt about that.
No, chill. I don't. There. You know what there's to say about riding with the guys that got you there? It's the only thing to say about that is, with all due respect, it's just a bad thing to do. I guess we'll just put it that way. It's not a good idea. If this guy got you here, but he can't get you over the hump, then let somebody else do it. Like Penn said, that's a part of being a team. It's a part of having other guys on the bench. Yep. You know what I'm saying? You got 7 to 12 other guys, right, or 7 to 10 other guys that are on your team, on your roster. If this guy isn't getting it done, even though he got it done during the regular season, man, that's a part of your role, and it's also a part of Lou Dort's role to accept that. Like, okay, it's not falling for me today. Let them do it. This isn't a knock on Lou Dort as a person. I'm not attacking the character.
You got to take the shots that are available. You got to take the shots that are available. If you don't take the shots that are available, if you stop shooting.
I didn't say not shoot, Penn. I didn't say don't, Penn. I didn't say don't shoot.
Yeah,
in fact, I said sit your black ass down. Not only do you not shoot, you sit your ass down.
See, Ox, that's
you're
the
getting
thing
in the way.
You want to pull Donovan Mitchell.
They were going to lose that. They were about to lose that basketball game if Coach Daigneault don't take his head out his ass and say, you know what, Lou, it's not happening for you. It's not your turn today, buddy. Okay,
That's
this
cool.
is
So what? So Ox, what happens? So what?
It's not a big deal.
No.
So
does that mean? So does that mean moving forward? So does that mean moving forward that all right? This is the theme because this is the same Lou Dort who cracked 3 of them, right? He cracked 3 of them, I think, in game 2. He cracked 3 of them, right?
Chill, this is the same Lou Dort who shot 39% from 3 in the playoffs last year.
For this ain't an indictment on his life. It's not like he can never play.
But that's what it sounds like. Ox is like, sit your ass down. Like
in game 2.
Why?
It's the same thing I went through with Zach Edey. You can't say someone played bad in one game and shouldn't have been on the court without saying this guy was never good at basketball.
Why y'all being so dramatic?
It's one game. Lou Dort shouldn't have been on the court yesterday, so they took him out the game.
Are we really debating about Lou Dort? He's not.
I don't know. I'm listening. I don't know why people.
Mars, that's not a response to you. I'm saying.
I know why people are arguing what Ox is saying.
I'm saying like Lou Dort is expendable for his team. They have 4 players on the bench. They have 4 players on the bench that they could bring in for Lou Dort. He's not Shea. He's not Shea up.
It's literally what happens. Ox is absolutely right. Lou Dort shouldn't have been on the court yesterday. And guess what? Lou Dort wasn't on the court yesterday. He got taken out of the game for the exact reason Ox is saying he should have got taken out of the game. What are you guys disagreeing?
It's not like the Thunder aren't deep either. It's like you look down their roster. Lou Dort's out there to play defense and shoot threes. He's out there playing defense. He's not hitting his threes. When you have arguably 2 defenders on your roster, guards, like may I mention, that you could have a similar impact to Lou Dort in case in Wallace and Caruso. Yeah, take him out of the game. Like it's cool if you have a deep team.
Yeah, what exactly is the disagreement? Because I'm perplexed.
The disagreement.
And by the way,
is
Casey and Alex Caruso are better than Lou Dort. If we're just being quite,
I'm wholeheartedly on the side of.
If we're being frank, conversation. If we gotta just cut to the chase.
Caruso clears Lou Dort. Caruso absolutely clears.
But what's the disagreement? Please enlighten me. What is it?
The disagreement here is we're trying to talk about one player coming in and bailing his team out and doing well. And Ox, Mr. Ox up here, wants to talk about the player he replaced because he would like to take a positive, which is the OKC win. Why are we talking about the worst performing player on OKC right now? Did they lose the game?
Because I made a
and let me just use your logic against you. Because yesterday I mentioned to you that Shaquille O'Neal was a poor free throw shooter and that Jokic was a good free throw shooter, and you brought up, well, how many free throws was he missing? Well, let me tell you something. Right now, last year Lou Dort made 2.5 threes per game in the playoffs. This year he's making 1.8. So 0.7 threes is 2 points, Ox. 2 points is the difference between benching a guy and he's a scrub and he's a bum and he don't deserve to be in the lineup. Look, all I'm gonna say is this: Monday morning quarterbacking is very easy to do. It's very easy to do. Mark Dagnall did not know Lou Dort was going to miss those shots before he took them. He had to give his man a chance.
Right.
And here's what I'm going to say: as a basketball coach, as a basketball coach on any level, you don't know what's going to happen before. You don't know if he comes out and shoots 6 for 6. You don't know that. And let me tell you something: Mr. Fred VanVleet went super cold. I think he was shooting like 5-6%, 10%, 12%, whatever in that Philly series. They rode with him. They cut his minutes down a little bit, but they kept playing him. And then what happened? Milwaukee comes around. His kid is born shooting like 50-60%. Goes into the finals. I think he won him a few games. So my point is, this is not the Twilight Zone, man. This is basketball. Okay, we're talking basketball. You want to talk basketball? This is basketball. Basketball is I don't want Lou Dort. I don't want Lou Dort to lose confidence in himself. I don't want Lou Dort. If I'm OKC's coach, I can't have this guy looking over at the bench that I'm gonna miss 2 shots and I'm gonna get hooked.
Exactly. Thank you, Morris. Thank you. Thank you, Morris. He had a chance.
Cool. 19 minutes of chance. They were losing.
And just so we're clear, just in case
because of his nonsense and got taken out of the game.
Oh my God, Mars.
After that game, there
is no way Lou Dort's confidence is worth a 3-1 deficit.
No, and I'm not arguing that point, Mars.
The hell with his confidence if he's losing confidence because he shot. He went 2 for 11. Keep shooting, Lou. Keep shooting. By all means.
Just so we are clear.
In game 5, chill. I want Lou Dort to shoot every open 3.
Ron's been talking about that all year long. Ron has been saying that all year long.
We've been talking about this. We tried to tell y'all, Lou Dort ain't who you think he is. With that being said, if Lou Dort is open, I want him to shoot those threes every single time. I don't want him shooting those contested corner threes. I only saw him take maybe 2 of those last night. I don't want him shooting those. I want him shooting open threes. Just because I pull you in game 4, see, that's the problem with these kids nowadays. They can't just miss and move on. You know what I'm saying? You get taken out of the game because you go 2 for 11. You shouldn't be all down about it. You shouldn't be like, oh, coach hates me. What am I gonna do? He's disrespecting me. He doesn't want to play, he doesn't want me on the team anymore. That's not what's happening. That means you weren't making shots, somebody else was. Your teammate did a good job by coming and saving your ass. Now, next game, shoot the ball.
Did you see me disagreeing with the decision to bring Casey Watson? I'm a bigger Casey Wallace fan than you are.
I'm gonna talk to you, Chill, because you're being rational. You're being rational. This isn't about fandom. This isn't about hurt feelings. This is about basketball. This isn't about no hurt feelings or nothing like that. I don't give a damn about your feelings. This is the playoffs. You're missing shots. You're missing open shots. You're missing contested shots. You're not so much of a better defender than Alex Caruso. In fact, you're not as good of a defender as Alex Caruso. And then you're the one who told us how good of a defender Casey Wallace is. And so if Casey is shooting better, Alex Caruso is shooting better, they're all kind of similar defenders, some better. What's wrong with you what's wrong with you sitting your ass on the bench after you missed
no problem with me sitting?
Okay, so then, bro, what are you arguing for?
Issue with you taking what could have been a very
stop being so goddamn sensitive, bro. Just move on.
My issue is you taking what could have been
a very positive. We're just gonna move on.
Yo, the discussion here should be about OKC's depth. Instead, you're honing in on one player's struggles, and that's what I'm saying. We are a basketball content channel. We are trying to promote the game of basketball in a positive way. That's and what you want to do up here, is you want to take three positives, which is Aaron Wiggins, Casey Wallace, and Alex Caruso coming off the bench. The fact that the Thunder have that kind of depth, and you want to turn it into, well, Lou Dort is a bum. Lou Dort is trash.
I didn't even say that shit, bro. Today Ron, today not the day for me, bro. Let's move on, bro. Today not the day. I want to make this like as a bunch of it's not the day.
Even if that's the case, and you're saying Ox made what should have been a positive and negative conversation. If you just agreed at the beginning that Lou Dort should have been benched, we wouldn't have been talking about Lou Dort being benched for 10 minutes, right? Like we would have just moved on and got back to Casey Wallace. But you decided to make an argument
on the playback for the last 10 minutes. And I was happy that Casey Wallace came in. I thought,
but I'm letting you know the reason we're still talking about this is because you was disagreeing, and now you're saying you don't even disagree that Lou Dort should have been benched, which is the only point Ox was making. So we spent 10 minutes speaking negatively on Lou Dort because you've decided to argue about something we all agree with, that Lou Dort should have been benched yesterday.
We're not arguing the same thing, Mars.
Well, let's speak positively, y'all, about the three players that did come off OKC's bench and had a very good game. You have Alex Caruso. He played almost 38 minutes. He went 2 for 5 from 3 and obviously did what he does on defense, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. You have Aaron Wiggins in just 15 minutes. He came in the game and went 4 for 8, finished with 11 points and went 3 for 6 from 3 and got 6 rebounds. Hey, never mind. I ain't gonna say that. But shout out Aaron Wiggins. And then you have Casey Wallace, who came off the bench in 22 minutes, had 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and went 3 for 3 from 3 and finished with 11 points as well. That's 32 points between those 3 players coming off the bench right there. They won the game?
They did win the game. Yes, sir. They did. They did win the game. And with them winning the game, now what Lou Dort does is Lou Dort sees what those guys have been doing and says, I gotta get on my job. Okay. What them dudes is doing, I got to get on my job. It's not necessarily because Ox cleaned it up. He cleaned it up for me. It's not necessarily me looking over my shoulder and worrying if I'm going to get taken out of the game more than it is me as a player going, I got to get on my job. I earned the starting job for a reason. I earned the starting job.
But chill, just to be clear, I wasn't trying to clear that up. That's on Lou Dort. That has nothing to do with me. That has nothing to do with Coach Dagenot. That's about being a grown-ass man and doing your job. If you're afraid and you're looking over your shoulder, if you're afraid to miss, then you shouldn't be out there. You know what I'm saying? That's not what I was trying to clear up. What I was trying to clear up is the fact that these are grown men on the basketball court. We don't got time for feelings and emotions.
Well, we can't discount the fact that if I'm getting yanked in and out of the lineup, that's gonna affect my psyche. And I do understand that in the playoffs, like nobody care about your feelings, right? I do care about that. But with that being said, I'm also conscious that I got to get on my job. I have to get on my job because there's people behind me that will do my job better than me if I don't do my job. So I 100% got to get on my job. I'm not arguing that Lou Dort should have been taken out of that game yesterday. It was obvious. It was obvious that they were conceding threes to both Lou Dort and to Alex Caruso. It was obvious that they were doing that. And Lou Dort wide open, by the way. It's not like Lou Dort, they were closing out hard on him or they were closing out soft. My man, if we're gonna lose, we're gonna lose with you shooting that long ball all night. Right. And when I think he started like 1 for 7, it was clear what they were doing. Now, to Coach Dagnall's credit, I am going to stick with the guys who got me here. But at some point, I got to make a decision on what we're doing. Because if I keep doing this, we're probably going to lose. And
sure, that whole team got him there. Chill. Everybody played their part. This is a deep roster, and everybody played an intricate role in getting him in there. I don't want to pretend like I think Lu Dort is any more important than Alex Caruso or anybody else on the squad that plays significant minutes. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, I sure hope Lu Dort isn't down about Game 4. You know what I'm saying? Game 4 already happened. Luke got to come and play ball in Game 5.
He will. And I
hope so. He seemed like a tough kid to me. I don't see no issue here.
And I think that to Penn's point, when we talk about the Oklahoma City defense, Penn, can you explain to me why was Lu Dort effective in dealing with Joker more than anybody else?
It's not like one player is not going to stop Joker. It's going to be 3 players at all times, potentially 4 players. It's just like the same way you're stopping Shea on the other end. If you're Denver, it requires a team. Yeah, Christian Brown doing a great job. Great job at the first level. But once he gets beat, it's Aaron Gordon sitting there. It's Jokic communicating on the back line and doing a pretty good job. Sure. So on the other side of it, Lu Dort is a pretty good point of attack defender. He's really good at bodying up. He's really versatile. And if he gets cross-matched on Jokic or Aaron Gordon, it's not alarm bells right away. He can give you 2-3 seconds before you gather your bearings. So he, and I think Jay Will deserves a lot of credit for his defense on Jokic. Shout outs to Jordan Drenchman. He made a video about it, and he's like, have they found the Jokic stopper? It's a very good defender. Caruso is very much important in all of this as well. So you need that weak side shot blocking that Chet provides, potentially. You need a guy who can sit in on Jokic's passing angles and kind of dig in on the ball a little bit and make him a little uncomfortable. But you also need that Jay Will, Caruso. You need strong defenders who have a strong lower body. How many times do we see Jokic on a guard and you're like, you gotta go. Like, how are you not attacking this guy? He's so much smaller than you. Those guys are strong. That's why OKC is probably the best team in the league at stopping Jokic, in my opinion.
I think they did the same thing that Minnesota did last year, except without the size.
They're better at it. I
think so. I do. I think they're better at, 1, shooting gaps, 2, closing space on Joker quicker than they did than Minnesota did. And when you got guys like Cason Wallace and you got guys like Alex Caruso, he's already got his hands full dealing with Jamal Murray. But he's also, when he's on the weak side of the ball, he's digging. And he's also recovering quicker than I feel like those guys did in Minnesota last season. But I feel like as a collection, when it comes to Oklahoma City, I feel like as a collection, they do each guy individually does their job, which makes them as a collection an even better unit. Because don't think for one second that even though they are helping Hartenstein, he's still dealing with Joker primarily by himself. He still is in one-on-one coverage with Joker and making it difficult on him, making Joker take tough shots, making Joker go to 2 and 3 different counter moves. And when he's doing that, Joker's not really concentrating that much on the help side defense because he's getting bumped and he's getting pushed by Hartenstein. That's why these guys I feel like they're knocking him off of his pivot. I think they're doing a great job on him defensively. A great job.
To get negative, I guess.
Please.
When are we going to talk about?
You don't, I am.
Yeah. Oh, Swiper's here.
Yeah,
this is actually a good question I do have for Swiper.
Hey, would you look at that? Hello, buddy.
I apologize for being late.
Can we stay focused? Mars, as you were saying.
No. You're gonna need to apologize for something else. Go ahead, Mars.
As you were saying,
my question is for the panel, but Swiper does watch Jokic the most.
Yes, he does.
Are we gonna talk about the fact that OKC are just sending him to his left hand like every play, and he's actively not going left? Like he's in the post, and they're taking away the middle, sending him left, and then he's still trying to spin into 3 people to his right hand. Like, does Jokic? What's going on?
I think that's more about his passing than anything else. Because if he gets to the middle, going to the left, I think it's the passing to the left part of the court. He shot over his right shoulder a couple times this series. Remember, he had the one on Jay Will. It was the spin turnaround that he made maybe in game. I can't remember that. Maybe it might have been game 3. I don't know. I mean, he operates mostly off that side of the floor anyway. I mean, so I don't know how much that is.
But if a defense, every time he posts up, if the defense is actively sitting on that left shoulder, so he can't get to his right hand, and that means you have the baseline to your left.
He doesn't have the baseline. They're sending help.
Yes, on that
right
box, he 100%.
I'm watching Isaiah Hartenstein sit on his left shoulder.
Yes, sir.
If he spins off to go baseline, the help wasn't there, and he's still going to his right hand. Why is that? If it's
they're sending help.
That's a flawed scorer.
They are sending help like from the baseline on and off. So I think what Jokic said in particular is that I think he is confused about based on his words. He has not yet figured out, I think, consistently how to beat them when they're sending those coverages. And so he did say that, but they're sending, it depends on what they're in, like especially if it's a smaller man. SGA's been doing it more than anybody else. If SGA is the low man, they're sending help from the baseline underneath the hoop. And then he's just basically they're convalescing, almost like they're putting like a little soft shell around him, sending it through that side. And I think some of this, when you get stuck underneath the rim, which he has, I think the other issue he's running into is the backside, weak side defender coming over the top. And then on top of that, I think it's the length that's on him, on his shoulder already. And so he doesn't have the space underneath to operate with the hoop, obviously, because that's where the verticality stuff, becomes an issue. Chet and Hart are doing it. No, I'm not.
All right, I would like to just cut the shit.
What's the problem, Ron?
What you mean? What's the problem?
Because when we get on
over here stuttering and mumbling and babbling to a point
Ron, first of all, Ron, this is bullshit that makes me nuts with you, Ron, because you acting like he ain't going up against a fucking awesome defense. Stop acting like you're going up against
This is the same awesome defense after game one. I heard they had no answer for Jokic. So 3 games later,
you didn't hear me say that.
I knew that was
did not hear me say that.
They had 42 and 22. They ain't got no answer for Jokic.
And on top of that, he's on the right box. Let me rephrase that. Not on the left block, because on the left block, he's definitely trying to get to. He's definitely just trying to get to the middle. On the right box, he's got the ball in his left hand, and he's trying to get to the middle of the floor.
I don't care if you're on the right box, the left box, a soap box, a tissue box. I don't care what box he on. Hey, this man right here in the red hat sat here and told all of us, Matty Ice, I'm sorry you wasn't here, and cover your ears because you might not want to hear this. He said that this boy got better footwork than Hakeem. He said he was the greatest offensive force of all time. He said that Joker was stand the third. He should have won 5 straight MVPs. I don't want to hear none of this. Stand on business. Stand on business.
Hold on, but Hakeem, wait a minute. Since we're doing this,
wait a minute.
Shaq and Hakeem didn't have bad games in series because I know you don't want to go through the game log. That's what I'm saying. Like we're no.
Mars asked, why can't he go left?
I am,
but he got better footwork than Hakeem.
I got a little bit of coffee in me now. It's been a long morning. I will say this to you.
You got a little more than that in you.
So some of this is that doesn't make any sense. Pause. Some of this is as simple as this. I don't think Jokic has played well enough, but that's because mostly his over-the-top jump shooting has been in the trash. Now,
and so we're going to criticize him
now,
for that
and I'm and if you start off the conversation correctly instead of getting into he's Hakeem footwork when Hakeem had bad playoff games. We watched this happen. Had bad playoff games. We also watched Shaq do this. So, like, I'm saying we're not going to do this and act like this is an outlier.
No, we are going to do this.
No, but yes, you start from the correct place, Ron.
Because, this is the greatest offensive force of all time.
And he's having
he's having a bad playoffs.
He had 3 bad games.
He's having a bad playoffs.
That's what I'm saying.
He's having a bad playoffs.
I'm saying we're going too far. That's what I'm saying.
We're not going too far. This is the greatest offensive force the game's ever seen. Hey, Zubac?
Hang on, Ron. 24, 11 and a half, and 10 against the Clippers. A really good defense with the alleged Jokic stopper is a bad playoffs. No, he's having a bad series.
I actually was the one who wanted to give him credit. Instead, he played bad last series. The rest of everybody said no.
He's having a bad
offensive series. He played like the greatest offensive force we've ever seen.
I agree. I think that's objectively true. But what I'm saying is if you bring up, and this is why, Penn, before you go, because I think Ron puts himself in these boxes because he doesn't know. You have to watch Hakeem and Shaq. They had bad playoff games. Chill can attest to this.
Of course, everybody does.
So the issue with what you can't do.
I'm talking about the greatest offensive force ever.
That's
what I'm talking about.
That's fine. Steph Curry had bad playoff games.
I understand
that. Bad playoff games.
I understand that, but I'm talking about the greatest offensive force ever. I'm not talking about everybody else.
If you would have came up here,
they don't compare to Jokic.
No, but that's what I'm saying. You're doing that. Chill. I am telling you objectively, he's had a bad 3 games. I don't even think that's a question. That's obvious. I think the turnovers have been too much. Well, in game 1, 2, and 3, he didn't turn the ball over a lot yesterday. I think the issue has been the over-the-top shot making. I think his decision making has been slower than it's been in a series in a previous series. Last series, he had an A+ playmaking series. This series, I think he's having his worst playmaking series he's had, period. And I think some of that is because they're throwing the amount of looks they are at him. Their defense, especially on the weak side, are not allowing for him to do some of the things he normally does. So I'm agreeing. I think the last 3 games have been bad. I don't really know where the question for that to go is.
Do y'all mind if I mediate this a little bit, Swiper?
No, go ahead.
It seems like Ron DeMar is wanting blood right now. And I just want to see if there's any way I
Mars
could
wants blood. I think Ron wants blood. I don't.
No.
Mars
Ron already got his blood.
I want Swiper to be consistent because all last
week.
Ron,
let me
all last week we criticized Tatum.
Let me get in here real quick. I want to ask you, Swiper.
Yes, sir.
I hear what you're saying. And you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you do this thing where you kind of passively get in there after going so hard for Jokic. I'm just curious to know, Swiper. We know that Shaq had bad series. We know everybody's had bad series. I just want to know, when is Jokic going to be the best offensive force we've ever seen? Because his team clearly needs that from him. I just want to know, does he have that in him for this, or is this defense too much? That's a serious question. Is this defense too much for Jokic? Is Aaron Gordon going to have to save him? Or what's going on here? Crazy. I just want to know from. I want to know from the Jokic expert. I'm saying, like, is this defense too much? I just want to know, like, does Jokic have it in him to carry? Because I thought he did, Swiper. I thought he did. Y'all know I got Denver winning this series. I had Jokic having a big game 3, and it didn't happen like I thought. I thought he was gonna have a big game 4. He's not letting you down, Swiper. He's letting us down, me and you. You know what I'm saying? Me and you. I thought he was gonna step up. I want to know, does he have the ability to be the best offensive force against this defense?
I think he does. The problem.
I just think it's interesting that when Joker plays bad and they win, they got a damn good team. But when Joker plays awesome and they win, Joker's the best player. Meanwhile, when Jason Tatum plays bad and they win, they got a great team. But when Jason Tatum is getting busy and they win, it's still a product of Jason Tatum being on an awesome team. It's not Jason Tatum is awesome. I just think that's interesting. But
I think Celtics fans. Yeah, I think Celtics fans and anyone in this conversation, because they're yapping like madmen right now. I mean, the fact that I'm Dan Greenberg, who I have had a lot of really good conversations with. It's just dead telling me that if Jokic is off the best in the world title, Tatum is a runaway because of the same thing Chill said. And I think it's all based on hypotheticals. But sure, we can get to that conversation at some point. I think objectively he's not playing well the last 3 games. I think it's clear.
Aaron Gordon has saved him 3 times these playoffs.
Saved him
3 times. He got that off the tip dunk, the made 3 in game 2, and then game. There was that game 3 and game 2, right?
Yeah, game 1 and game.
Game 1 and game 3. My bad. Game 1 and game 3.
What team does Aaron Gordon play
for? His best. He plays for the Nuggets.
He plays for the Nuggets.
He plays for the Denver Jokic's. He plays for the Denver Jokic's.
Amazing. He didn't run out of the stands and put on a Denver jersey and then just save them. He plays for the team. He plays major rotational minutes, and he gets paid a lot of money to play for the team.
When is your countryman gonna be who y'all said he was?
I don't know what game you're watching.
The same one you're watching.
Okay, he is struggling
just with a little less emotion.
Okay, he's struggling with turnovers and he's struggling to make
really good defense though. He's playing good defense, ain't he?
Man, hell no. I don't want to hear that.
No, he's not playing good defense.
Ron, wow, what are we doing, Ron? In stretches, we got to
nice
give him a little
argument that Jokic's defense has been better than his offense in this series.
I think that's.
I was about to say that.
I don't think that's a nice little argument. I think that's loud.
This is the first time I've ever seen him play good defense. First of all, but this is the first time I've seen him play good defense better than his offense. Like, his defense is more impactful than his offense.
Well, he's had games like that before, but not 3 straight games. So I think that's been the problem. I don't, Ron. I guess how about this, Ron? You set it up. What would you like the overall conversation to be right now? And then we can take it there.
We can talk about Jokic and how he's been playing bad, but I mean, it's once again we know the talent that Jokic is. and we know the defense that OKC is. So I'm not going to say it was expected, but it's happening, and we're watching it.
I don't think it was expected.
But
I think it's been disappointing.
Here's my thing, though.
He's directly responsible as the best player for what are now 3-1 right now.
Swiper, my thing with you, and chill. I was actually coming to your defense before you jumped behind Swiper's back. All last week, Swiper was beating the hell out of you about Tatum being in Jokic conversations. Now I want you to stand on business because you're putting Jokic in other conversations, and now he's showing his ass, and he's not looking off greatest offensive force in the world-ish or
has not
all
played
time-ish.
Good offense the last 3 games. As good as he should.
And that's because he can't go right or can't go left.
No, I don't. No, I think that people are
left. Can't go left.
What? Hold on. But Ron, what Tatum Jokic thing are you doing right now? What would you like me to amend for?
So Chill has said that Tatum is in the best in the world conversations.
Yes.
You have put Jokic in conversations that some of us up here.
Stop acting depressed, Swiper.
I'm not. I'm just listening. I'm listening.
I don't believe Jokic belongs in top 5, top 10 in those conversations. You have put him in those conversations.
Top 5 conversations.
If we talking, if we talk,
what I'm talking about, Swiper. Even top 10 conversations.
So because of these, but that's because how you go about these last 3 games.
Stop pouting.
It's been the whole playoffs for me.
Ron,
I'm looking at everything.
But how many think Anthony Davis is a good defender, right?
Yes, he's a damn good defender.
Where you going with that?
That's cool. You think Draymond Green's a good defender?
Yes, I do think Draymond Green.
We're gonna talk about Draymond Green today, right?
Yes, we are.
You think Bam Adebayo a good defender?
I think he's an awesome defender. 100%.
So I just named 3 of the best defenders in the league, right?
Yeah.
And in series against those 3 players, Jokic has dropped 65%, 64%, and 62% from 2.
Sure.
So apparently he couldn't go left then and they didn't know, or is he just having a tough 4 games?
The team defense, like you said, it takes more than one person.
Of course.
The team defense wasn't as good as what the OKC had.
Okay. So once again,
that's my question right there. I want to know, is Jokic good enough to play against this level of defense? I wasn't asking about.
I'm waiting for the answer.
I want to know, Swiper, can this man, the greatest offensive force we ever seen, come up big against this defense?
I'm going to assume it's dependent on what the jump shot is. That what you're going to say?
No, I think it's
that broke ass shit. He need to stop shooting that shit. That look worse than Lou Dort.
That's a big thing. I mean, Jokic was a top 3 volume jump shooter this year, and now he's fallen off the face of the earth the last 3 games. So yeah, that's a big deal. That's a really big deal. I think that's
happened before. That happened last year against.
He didn't shoot. He didn't have a jump shooting year like he did. Even in 23 last year.
I'm saying that he's had a cold series before. He's had a series where the 3-point shot has just gone away. Maybe he didn't have an 0 for 11, whatever, but he's had cold jump shooting series.
Is that because he's not as good of a jump shooter as people try to say he is?
No,
he's open a lot. He's a pretty good jump shooter. Look, this is his lowest.
Wait, hold on.
All the playoff series he's ever played. This is his lowest effective field goal percentage ever.
But hold on, Marsh. Literally prior to the last 3 games, he was having a good jump shooting playoffs. Though it's like that doesn't make any sense.
And then you get to the point where you take away a lot of the inside stuff, and then he raises the volume shooting jump shots.
Yes,
some people are good. Some people are good jump shooters on low volume. They're not great jump shooters on high volume.
But he was on good volume.
At what point do we look at Jokic, where a lot of the time when he has to raise the jump shot volume in the postseason, the same efficiency isn't replicated.
A lot of the times he was a better jump shooter. He was a better jump shooter. He was a better jump shooter. He was a better jump shooter over the course of his career in the playoffs than he was in the regular season, especially from the 3
How much did the volume increase? Because the last 2 playoffs, the volume's increased a lot.
Well, the last 2 playoffs, he didn't shoot well, and from 3 last playoffs, and then this playoff he was prior to game 2 this year.
And what's he shooting from 3 this playoffs?
Well, now it's 34% after the last 2 games.
And how much is the volume increased?
But he was shooting 44% prior to that.
How much is the volume increased?
I think it was similar volume.
He's shooting 5.4 per game.
And it was 5 in the regular season.
He actually shot a lot worse last year.
But it was 44%. I guess. But
if you look at the most recent games where the volume has gone up, the percentages have gone down. In the Clippers series, 1 for 4, 4 for 8, 2 for 3, 3 for 6, 1 for 4, 2 for 4, 1 for 2. Solid volume. Okay, volume. When Jokic is making 1 or 2 threes in a game,
I think
he's a good shooter. When he's shooting 7, 8 threes,
the
he
three
misses.
games that have played.
So why is he shooting?
It's not just the 3-game sample. I could go back to last year when he
No,
shoots
we're talking
high volume
about, but we're
threes,
talking.
the
But last
percentages
year
go
he
down.
had a bad jump shooting season, especially from 3 in the regular season and in the
think
playoffs.
I'm saying something outlandish.
No, you're not.
I'm
but
gonna
I'm countering what you're saying. With 23, he had a great jump shooting series, and then in 22, I think from at what he made, after game 2 or game 3, he started making all of his jumpers, and then in 21, I think he had a great first round jump shooting series, and then his legs got him in the second round versus the Suns, and then in the bubble he had a good jump shooting series, or the whole playoffs rather, and then in the 20, and then in 19. That was his first playoff, whatever. Like
2019 and 2020 was cool.
I'll give you the
2021.
diagnosis.
I remember the Sun series vividly. Couldn't buy a 3.
Yeah, but
Against
what did
the
he do in
Warriors,
the Blazer
couldn't buy
series
a
prior to
3.
that? What did he do in the Blazer series prior to that?
The Blazer series 21.
Yeah, I think he shot 50, 40, 90.
Well, Mars, you said yourself last year that the jump shot regression. This was last year specifically. I vividly remember, and I vividly remember you saying last year, Mars, that the jump shot regression, quote, I'm seeing the jump shot regression. Is this an aberration or is this who Joker really is? I'm waiting on that. You said that. Well, but this year,
but he did that for the entire season, though. Like, so I don't think
this was last season. And
my question is about volume, not percentage.
That doesn't make any sense, though, Mars. What I'm saying,
I don't get how it doesn't make sense
because I'm responding to you right as you're speaking.
Right.
In the last 3 games, he's not shot well. And I think that has tanked the percentages, but he maintained.
But it's the only game he shot high volume.
Hang on. This is not just OKC.
Like, you're making my point.
No,
the volume
not at all.
goes up.
We're not even on the same line. We're not even on the same line.
I can give you
the last 2 games he's taken 18 threes.
Yo,
yes, we're not.
Which means he's taking 9 a game.
Yes, I hear you. Yeah, I think
so. You bringing up the games in which he goes 2 for 4. I said on low volume.
No, so Mark, me bringing up games. So before they have years of
run, I went through the game logs of years. It's a lot of just 2 for 4 games.
You just
2
said
for 3.
The Sun
like
series.
It's a good low.
You just said the Sun
game.
series. What did he do prior to that?
Yeah, I read through the game log. It was he started off 3 for 7, 2 for 4. That's cool. 4 for 7. That's cool. 1 for 4. 3 for 9. 4 for 7 is cool. It's cool. It's cool. Good job. Like good job. 2 for 4. That's cool. Low volume, but cool. Good job. 3 for 7. That's good.
No, I'm not gonna lie.
3 for 9. 3 for 9.
I've never seen you pigeonhole yourself in an argument like this.
I'm not pigeonholing. I'm saying a simple
because you have a career sample size of jump shooting in which he's been
normally when people's volume goes up, their percentages drop.
No, but I don't. You're doing this based on the last 3 games, though. I'm saying I'm not.
I said it was based on last year. You said, but he didn't shoot as well last year. Then I said in 2022 against the Warriors, you said, oh, okay.
But you skipped the whole 20 game sample size.
But then you said, what did he do against the Blazers?
But Mars, you realize you skipped a 20 game sample size. The most games
I'm
you've ever played in
the
the
low
playoff series.
volume games. That's what I'm doing because my point is about high volume threes. My point is that when he shoots a lot of threes, his percentages go down.
By the way,
you're telling me about
you started this conversation. This is one when you know you're wrong, you start talking through points. You also included jumpers. You're including mid-range jumpers. He has been literally lethal from mid-range through the playoffs. And the 1 year, there was 1 season where he wasn't doing that. I'm saying this is the Marsh. You can't do that with me because I know
my whole point has been about volume. You're not going to answer what the volume has been.
And then Marsh, and the reason you're wrong, and you know you're wrong, is because you brought up jump shooting, not just a 3-point shot.
Yes, I did.
He's been a good jump shooter through his entire playoff career.
What has the volume been?
No, see, that's what I'm doing. Mars knows he's wrong. Let's just move on.
Anyone who was listening, has my whole point not been about volume?
Conversation.
Okay, so why are you not answering what the volume has been?
Because you're bringing up 3 games in which he brought up when he had increased the volume in these 3 games.
2021, 2022.
You brought up the Sun series. You brought up the Sun series.
Multiple games.
He shot well versus the Warriors, though. He shot well versus the Warriors.
No, he didn't.
So the first 2, just to be clear, I want to be clear about this. The first 2 games of that series, he shot 48% from the field. The next 3 games, I want to say, Mars, unless you can look this up for me, I believe he shot damn near 60% from the field for the rest of those 3 games. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
I'll check.
What I'm asking is when his volume goes up from the long ball line in particular, why is he shooting that many threes? Does it have anything to do with what the defense is doing?
Yeah.
Yes.
It can't just
they're not
be,
giving him in the
last 3 games, he was 2 or 3 from 3, low volume.
You said
3 or 5.
You
3
said
or 5.
jump shots. You said jump shots.
I can't check single game jump shots. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I don't have the facility.
So you mean 3-pointers?
I want to get to the bottom of why.
It's mainly threes, yes, but a lot of Jokic's jump shots are like those 10-foot jump shots. Like he's not taking.
Well, he's not making those this series.
Yeah, but I'm not talking. I'm talking about like
just long
outside
just
shots when you
because
they count mid-range, and this is why Jokic's mid-range percentage is always so high because they count the floater area as mid-range because it's outside of like 4 feet.
Well,
like they count 4 to 14 feet as mid-range stuff. So a lot of Jokic's floater stuff counts as mid-range shots, so his percentage is always ridiculously high. But when you look at like deep mid-range,
but you can separate it from where you are on relative on the court, though, and you know.
But when I'm talking about jump shots, floaters obviously aren't a part of that equation. So when I'm talking about shooting outside shots, it appears to me historically, when Jokic raises his volume on jump shots, particularly threes, the percentage,
you're not saying
particularly threes,
yes.
the percentage
three is a jump shot.
No,
the
but
percentages go down.
His jump shooting has been good in the playoffs. He's
playing the semantics game is not going to save you. What I want to know real quick is this, because before you got here, Swiper, we talked about Lu Dort hitting the pine because he was 2 for 11 or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Did you ever think if Jokic can't get what he wants from this defense, like if they're not allowing him to do what he wants to do and he's forced to brick threes, maybe they should have sat his ass down too?
What other options do they have?
You know what I'm saying? Go small,
yourself,
chill. Like go small, chill. You know what I'm saying? Let's go AG, MPJ, Jamal, Christian, Russ, Peyton Watson.
How are you going to replace his defense, Ox? How are you going to replace his defense, Ox?
I know all these dudes are unplayable.
Jesus.
But he is the one bricking all the threes. You know what I'm saying? I'm just asking a question. I'm just saying it worked to sit Lu Dort's ass down, and Lu Dort plays way better defense than Jokic, and it worked for them. I'm just asking the question. Yeah, I mean that is it impossible to sit down the best offensive engine we've ever seen if he's not being much of an offensive engine?
Well, they did sit him. They did sit him in stretches.
Why do you think everyone else is open?
Yeah, they did sit him in stretches.
Why if everybody else is open? Why is he shooting?
It wasn't terrible.
Gravity isn't part of your equation.
100%. He still has to be involved in all.
Defensive attention is not part
of your equation. He's literally breaking everything he throws up. I mean, he's gonna break something. He's gonna break something if he gets throwing it at the rim like that.
I mean, I think that alternative is a lot better than just having a stagnant offense out there too, though.
Okay,
let somebody else shoot it. Because look, we asked why is he shooting the three? Swiper said he can't get nothing else against his defense. So it's like if he can't get nothing else against his defense, right? Or if he has to shoot threes, why not let somebody that can shoot threes shoot threes?
But Ox, isn't that a problem?
They did.
He can't get nothing else against his defense. You can't get on the block and go to work.
I didn't say that.
Hey, Hakeem footwork.
He don't got no block work. He don't got no block.
You can't get busy.
He can't go left. He ain't got no block.
Then that's the problem. But chill. I know you've been trying to figure out why he's shooting so many threes. Why is he shooting so many threes?
Okay, let's forget about the defense for a second. I think that there's something very
let's not talk about defense. That's the reason why we're here.
Jokic
can't forget about
no way.
But I want to take out one variable, which is how well OKC is playing him and what they're scheming against him, because I think their scheme has been about the best scheme I've ever seen against Jokic in my life. Okay, from international play to NBA, I've never seen a team scheme this well against him, and this is going right back to the regular season. I just want to say Jokic has been a very consistent jump shooter in general throughout his career, but he's also been a very consistent free throw shooter. He's only had one series his entire life where he shot below 70%. That's very unheard of for a big man. A lot of people go through cold stretches in the playoffs. He's not one of them. There's 2 series that he's played so far, and he has shot 2 of the 4 worst free throw percentages of his playoff life. If you're looking at these jumpers, how many of them are short? That's the question I'm asking. How many of them are short?
Almost all of them.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying
all.
He's in and out a couple times, but he's hitting front rim a lot.
What the hell does free throws got to do with him getting locked up? What are you talking about?
What I'm going to say is,
let him finish, Ron. He was cooking, Ron.
You and Swiper come here and deflect. You and Swiper come here and deflect, duck and dodge, run away from the point. Hey, like somebody who just robbed the bank. Okay. We are asking you guys, and we are trying to stay right here. Why is he shooting so many threes?
To learn you something.
Why is he shooting so many threes? And why ain't he going to work on the block?
Okay.
Huh? I thought Chet couldn't guard him. Hartenstein shouldn't be able to slow him down. I know J-Dub ain't got nothing for him. Lu Dort and Caruso. What is the
now?
Maddie,
Caruso was bodying
Maddie,
his ass.
please,
Caruso was bodying his ass.
Maddie, am I tripping?
All year we have talked about
Yeah,
the OKC Thunder being
crazy.
possibly
It's
the
crazy.
best defense of all time.
Pin got a point right here. Let it cook.
We've had this conversation all year. We have said they may be inexperienced, but from a positional versatility toolkit perspective, they have possibly 5 of the 10 to 12 best defenders in the entire league. And I'm not including Shea in that equation.
But this is the greatest offensive force ever. That's the point I'm making.
Great. When an airplane, when a 747 bumps into a mountain,
you set the standard for him. You put him here.
I did.
Just like Tim put Tatum in best of the world conversations. So we tried him last week. So we know it's the you put him up. You put his bar here. So I'm holding him to that bar. I don't care what defense you're playing against. You are the greatest offensive force ever.
No, but hold on. I don't even know why you're wrong. I know who you are. Trust me. I definitely know.
I know who I am too. I'm glad we both know who I am.
And I appreciate.
Be true to yourself, Ron.
And now we're trying to figure out who Jokic is.
And this is a bad Ronde. I literally came up here and said that I think the reason that they're not up 3-1 is because of Jokic. I think Jokic hasn't played well enough in this series. I think that is very clear.
And you still haven't answered the question, Swiper. Can he play better? That's all I'm just want to know.
I don't know which question I'm supposed to answer.
I'm asking Swiper. Can this best offensive engine of all time, can he carry this squad against this defense? Because as we've seen throughout these past 3 weeks, I clearly have more faith in your team than you do. I think he can. I want to know, what do you think, Swiper? You are the Jokic expert up here.
But when you asked me what I thought, Ron started yapping and responding.
Okay, but he's not right now. Just answer the question. You don't want to answer the question.
I think he can. No, I feel like I've already answered this. Yes.
No, CJ, we're not going to shut up. We're going to keep cooking. This big bum.
What do you think he needs to change, though, to like get on track for that?
Well, what do you think he needs to change? How about you? Because you've been up here with us for like 50 minutes and we've heard nothing from you.
I've just been listening. This is aggressive.
What's going on? Because y'all not
going to Swipe answer the question.
The reason why he just said the question they just asked was, can he get better against this defense? Well, how was he effective in game 1? Well, he was effective in game 1 because they put him in the middle of the floor. They exploited switches with both him and Lou Dort, but both him and Alex Caruso, and he took advantage of those switches in the mid-range and in the mid-post. He went quick when he was on the right box, when he was switched on to Lou Dort. And I came up here the next day after that game 1, and I told you guys, stop switching small guys on the big guys. And the reason why I said that is because small guys don't handle big guys, especially when big guys go quick. Only problem is that now they haven't done that as much with Joker. Hartenstein has been on Joker the majority of the time, and guys like Lou Dort, guys like Alex Caruso, you find them digging in the post. You find those guys in the spaces where Joker wants to operate, as opposed to him being one-on-one with these guys. Now, what's the difference, and how do we get Joker back to where we had him in game 1? We got to put him back in those spaces. He has not been in those spaces that he was in game 1. He has not been in those spaces as he was in game 2. He wasn't in game 3. He wasn't in those spaces. And if we can get him back to those spaces, maybe we can get a better offensive performance from Joker. But as of right now, Joker looks very pedestrian at best.
Do you fight that, Matty Ice?
No, I don't. I was just asking. I wasn't like, that's all.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, right quick. I gotta just let the people know about a beautiful place. Purple paradise, palm trees, Mai Tais, beautiful women, white sandy beaches, and beautiful men too, if that's what you like. It has everything that you want. It's called PrizePicks, where you can run your game, control your game, and win your game. And ultimately, when you play $5, you will get $50 back instantly when you use promo code PANDO. Now, PrizePicks has a couple good things going on right now. Obviously, well, the first thing is when you play $5, you get 50 back instantly. But also, they have a triple boost today, 5/12. Where not 1, not 2, but 3 you can level up your lineup today on Monday with 3 different 20% payout boosts. And it's available to use on your favorite projections on the board. So go ahead and take advantage of that triple boost. Also, well, they have takes to tickets where your NBA takes can get you courtside at the championship for every $5 3 picks flex NBA lineup that you submit during the playoffs, you will be entered into a sweepstakes to win a VIP trip to sit courtside with Player's Choice at the Chip. So go ahead and, well, get those $5 3-pick NBA flex lineups in, and we will see you courtside when we're in Indiana for the NBA championship. All right, y'all. I guess now's the time to let you guys know what I'm doing today. 10 to 375. You guys see what it is. We're going all combos today. I got a Jalen Brunson and Jaylen Brown 50-point combo. They got to score 51 points together. Josh Hart and Derek White 28.5-point combo. We're taking a less on that. Jonathan Kuminga and Jaden McDaniels both getting 31 points together, 15 apiece. I kind of like it. We'll go more on that. Then we have Buddy Hield and Julius Randle, 34.5 points combined, less. Then we have Cat and Jason Tatum, rebounds combo, 22.5. We going more on that. That's how we rock it, y'all. Let me know what you guys are doing, and we'll see you in the NBA Finals.
You betting against Buddy? Bold move.
I had to do research because I knew I wasn't bugging. When Jokic has taken 7 or more threes in a playoff game, he shoots 34% from 3. When he's taken 6 or more threes, he's at 34.7%. When he takes 5 or less, he's at 38.5%. Clearly, as shown by the numbers, I had to do the research. The more threes he takes, the lower the percentage goes.
Sure.
I'll flip
With more
that
volume.
Can I flip
he
that
doesn't
logic
shoot
for a
as
second?
well.
Can
Go
I
ahead.
flip that logic?
Go ahead, flip the logic.
When he's tired, he takes more threes.
Sure, there can be reasons why he takes more threes. And
When
that
he's
comes back
facing
to-
better
that comes back
defenses,
to another
he takes
problem.
more threes.
Yeah, when Jokic goes up against better defenses, he takes worse shots. I agree. That's another problem. But my point was,
That logic
when
doesn't
Jokic
work
shoots,
with me,
when
man.
Jokic's
No.
jump shot, I said jump shot volume. That's great.
I ain't talking about you,
what?
Mars.
Because I did the research on the jump shots too. This postseason, he's 11 for 29 on his long mid-range shots. That's 38%. He was at 52% in this regular season. Last year, he was at 36% on his long mid-range shots. I didn't account for last year because it was very small sample. He only took 11 of those shots. So even though he was at 36%, which was a major drop off from the regular season, he was such a small sample size that I'm not crazy profile picture. That I'm not using it. The postseason prior, he was at 41%, dropping off from 55% in the regular season.
Sure.
The postseason before that, 2022, another small sample size, only 5 games. He shot 47%. He was 7 of 15. That dropped from 50% in the regular season. In 2021, he was at 53% in the regular season and shot 41 in the postseason. His deep jump shots go down. The seasons in which the frequency went up substantially is this postseason in which he's dropped by 14%, and 2022 in which he dropped by 3% on the long mid-range shots. So I've given you the evidence of the 3-point shot dropping with more volume, and I've given you evidence when he ups the volume on the long mid-range shots, the percentages also drop. So what more do you want? When he takes more jump shots, the percentages go down. That tends to be the career trends since he's become an MVP caliber player. Don't come and tell me that I'm making stuff up.
No, you're not making stuff up.
What
the question that needs to be answered is
you brought up 5, 6, and 7 for a
Right,
center, though.
why?
Like, that's what I'm saying.
What
Like,
you're making with
What more
Mars,
do you want?
because you're comparing
why is
him
why
to
why
other-
is he moving
I
off
think
the
that
block?
is-
That's where Joker
that-
is the most effective when he's
I
on the
say-
block.
because
I say higher
you have to
volume,
move him.
Bingo,
you have to
chill.
move him
Why
around.
is he the?
Like what? Like, let's be serious. Like,
when
what
I
am I
you have
talking
to
about?
move him
Because when we
around.
talk
Like,
about because and I'm sorry I gotta get
and
involved.
there's
When
any
we talk
other.
about the all-time great bigs, when we talk about the all-time great bigs, when we talk about
Oh,
Jabbar,
my
we talk about Olajuwon, we talk about Shaq. We
Cleaning
talk
the glass doesn't
Chamberlain.
account for
We
heat,
talk-
Key.
I ain't
Cleaning
talking
the
about
glass
cleaning.
doesn't account
I'm not talking about any of that. When I'm talking about the all-time great bigs, the one thing I can account for, you're not pushing Olajuwon out to 15 or 18 feet. You're not pushing Jabbar 17, 18 feet away from the basket. This is where I live.
What?
You can call it everything what you want.
Hakeem
I ain't trying to hear that. You can
I
call
mean,
it-
yeah.
Name
Hakeem,
one
but
defense
it's an
that Hakeem went up
advantage.
How
against that
many
was better than
bigs
this
were being
defense.
pushed out like that for Kareem, like back in the 70s and early 80s? Like, there
Wait a
really
minute.
was.
Name one defense. How about that Nick defense in '94?
No, not
about
a
better
Better
defense.
than this
big.
defense?
How
No.
about that Nick?
Chill. Why
defense
would you
in
even
94?
entertain that?
Are
No.
you serious right now? How about that Bulls defense?
I'm
In
saying a
96. How about
big,
that
not a
defense?
defense, a big man
How
who
did he
they're
do against
forcing
that?
to go out there. There's not
A
many.
big? Okay,
Yeah,
so
the Nuggets
and-
also
and-
want Jokic out there though to like initiate at the top of the key, dribble handles like that. So
Right,
they also
okay,
want
that's
him
what-
out there.
Okay, that's where his game is. So it sounds like we're talking about two different things. So if Joker's getting pushed away from the basket to shoot jump shots, Is he tired, or is he just getting pushed away from the basket because he can't operate on the box? And if that's the case,
I think the physicality of the series is waning on him.
He exists.
So if that's the case, so if that's the case, I know for a fact that the physicality did not affect Shaq. Shaq stayed his ass on that box.
What are you talking about? That is also not true. We have bad series. No, this is the thing.
Arvydas Sabonis
hold on.
He's saying in terms of shot selection, Shaq can have bad series, but his shots.
But Shaq didn't have the ability to play outside of 6 feet offensively. So this whole conversation about Shaq.
He wasn't scoring outside.
This whole conversation about Shaq is just, or Hakeem. It is all contingent on the fact that they didn't have stinker shooting series.
They did. They 100%.
So the whole, what happens
the issue is Hakeem was a dominant defender.
And I hear you, but Jokic is having his defense has been good. That's not the issue. Is you can't then
not dominant defender.
Never mind.
Good.
Because there's so
many.
Okay. If the scoring is different because Jokic can do more as a scorer.
Nah, don't do this. Oh my God.
Having
you was on Chill's case all last week.
It's literally impossible.
I don't think anyone's saying anything crazy today.
If I'm responding to you, if I'm responding to you by saying that he's existing outside of just the low block because of his ability as a pick and roll player, as a playmaker for the Nuggets offense.
What's he doing out there?
I also said that they use him in more different spaces. So
is he thriving or is he just existing out there? What is he doing out there?
Where is Swiper? Where in your estimation, Swiper? Just you watch Joker and you watch.
I really just wish Swiper would answer some of these questions.
That's what I'm saying, Swiper. You've watched Joker.
You're asking me 3 or 4 questions all at once.
No, I asked you one. I asked you one question.
I haven't finished answering the first one in response to Mars.
I know,
or to Chill about the play position on the court.
Yeah, because you pussyfooting around, beating around the bush. Won't just come out and stand on your nuts and just say he's not who I thought he was, guys.
Is that the answer you want from him?
No, I want him to say something. He always does. Well, objectively, just talk, bro. Give me the answer.
Swiper, go ahead.
Stop pussyfooting around the answer.
Swiper,
what do you want me to say?
Swiper, focus, brother. Right here.
Sure, go ahead.
So Swiper,
I'm literally said he didn't play good enough.
So
in the
Swiper,
first 3 games.
We all know that, Swiper. We all know that.
But that's where the baseline is.
Let Chill ask his question.
So you've watched Joker. I've watched Joker a lot. I've watched Joker a lot, but you've watched him and you've studied him a lot more than I have. So with that being said, where do you think Joker is the most effective in your estimation?
Dude, everywhere. I don't know, Chill. Depends
on
the team he's playing.
Is there any specific space?
It depends on the team he's playing. It all depends on the team he's playing.
I
mean, probably in this series, it's going to be at the high coast, the high nail area, but that's where his mid-range shot has to go down. I think the over-the-top shooting is what I also answered. I think I said this to start the show off. Right. He's going to have to make his over-the-top mid-range jumpers that he's been missing, including the open ones. The problem is I think he's missing those shots. I think they're rushed in this series, especially after game 1. And I think that if they're going to concede that, or you have to force the issue and get to the rim, which he did. Got 14 free throws because he changed his play style. He started forcing the issue towards the basket. And then from that point on, then I think that's where you saw the points start going up because of the free throw line. OKC is fouling, and they foul more than anybody else in the league as it is, but they're fouling the Nuggets a lot. And as you saw, the Nuggets got 36 free throws, and they made 26 of them. Again, you make your free throws, especially Jokic and Aaron Gordon down the stretch of that game, it could be a different game. Like it could be a different game altogether. They could have won that game. So some of this is Jokic is going to have to, especially if your jump shot is not working to the degree you want, you have to force the issue towards the rim. And I think he has to do that again in game 5 if he's not going to make his jumpers.
It's hard to win basketball games against this team, especially with SGA being closer to Kobe.
And we're going to get on him next.
We're doing the narrative thing again. Nobody
SGA next.
No one up here.
I was Playback. I didn't see it. That was
Mark, did you know that SGA was closer to Kobe than Kobe was to MJ?
I seen someone show me that clip. I didn't watch it because I just seen the title. I was like, I'm not watching this.
I was there live. I seen it. I heard it fresh from the source.
But I mean, I've also heard Shea is more skilled than Kobe. So I've heard a lot of things when it comes to Shea and Kobe. But my question, I think Swiper, thank you. I appreciate the answer to where Jokic is most effective.
That's what I'm
saying that if the jump shot's not going, he has to be more aggressive to the rim. Totally understandable. Now, one thing I know you've done a lot when questioning some other dominant players in the postseason is point to a little thing called assist to turnover ratio.
This was bad.
Can you explain to me? Yeah, can you explain to me how So the guy's not making jump shots, as illustrated by the numbers that we can all see. He also has 21 assists to 23.
Told y'all Mars wanted blood.
What's that about?
The first three games were horrible. I think he had 7, 6,
7, 6, and 8. 7, 6, and 8.
Yeah, horrible. And then he had 2 yesterday, I believe.
2 yesterday to 3 assists.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think he has to get that under control. I think that's been a problem. I think the fact that he's been trying to force the issue, especially as a passer, inside the paint on those low block areas or outside to the corner 3-point shots. And I think OKC is playing that very heavily. Like I said, I also said this. I think this is the worst playmaking series that he's had. I think he's been doing too much, especially as a passer with the ball. And I think he had to get that under control. Yesterday he did. Like, they're not conceding. Well, to be fair, if the Nuggets didn't come out and score 8 points in the first quarter off like a lot of, I think, quality looks, he probably assists would have been higher. But I think some of this is they're not also converting on one end. But on the other end of this, I think Jokic is forcing the issue too much as a passer, which is why his assist to turnover ratio looks like that. Like, I have brought this up multiple times. As Marge is right. I don't think it's affordable for players to have negative playmaking series. I think Jokic thus far, especially through the first 3 games, was having a negative playmaking series. So that has been affecting, I think, his overall output, because if you're forcing the ball and you're putting it into traffic, then yeah, that's a problem. Like Jokic, his whole thing is being able to pass the ball more than anybody else in the league, and then on a lower turnover percentage than most other people in the league.
See,
so he's not doing that in the first 3 games.
I just have a difficult time with the logic of him forcing things, and I don't think that he's forcing things more than this Oklahoma City's defense throwing different looks at him and closing lanes and closing spots where he normally is effective. I think that's the problem. Because what it sounds to me like Joker just can't get it done, when in reality, we're not giving nearly as much credit to the Oklahoma City defense and what they've been doing, how they've been shifting. And the fact that Hartenstein, he pushes Joker off the box. And where Joker wants to operate as opposed to where he's making him operate isn't as comfortable. And because of that, he is turning the basketball over because he's seeing different looks. I'm not just going to say, well, Joker is just forcing things and Joker's not making the right reads. That's because of the Oklahoma City defense. It ain't just because Joker's not getting it done.
It's both, but you expect – I don't know. I think people have me confused up here, apparently. I think maybe Mars doesn't, but Mars has to get off good takes today. Braun, them confused.
I haven't said anything for you to assume that I'm just being the bad guy.
Sure.
I've been speaking strictly basketball.
I don't think
niggas do not like getting held accountable.
I've been speaking strictly, but there hasn't been one troll from me today.
I'm saying that I have already said that
you're confused. You're
he's held to the highest standard in the league for me, and he's underperforming that standard by a lot. So you're gonna get, to me, there's no moving around it. Like, Jokic is the reason why they're not a 3-1. Period. It's that simple for me. Like, I think in the first series, like people saying that like he had a bad series, I think he was cooking them. Like he had a great playmaking series versus the Clippers, like a terrific playmaking series, but the scoring wasn't what it normally is. But that's fine. Like, that's why Jokic is Jokic. The issue is now the scoring for the last 3 games and the playmaking have also not been what they need to be, which is functionally why I think everybody is looking at him like, Jokic, what are you doing? Including, I think, everybody that covers the Nuggets for the most part. He's not playing well enough. And I think some of this needs to be, you have to make better decisions and you have to be more aggressive in getting to your spot, but you also have to do the small things. And we're not talking about Jokic's defense, because I think Jokic has been great or good or okay for most of the series. He's had stretches of greatness. He's had a lot of stretches of good. And he's had mostly good. Yeah, like he's doing his job. But the problem is, on the other end, they need shot conversion. And we haven't talked about it at all, because obviously Jokic, but I think Jokic, Jamal.
We all said Jokic has been better on defense than offense this series.
No.
In fact, Ott said this is one of the first series.
I wasn't talking about that. I'm talking about Jamal Murray, Jokic. They shot 12 of 37 from the field. I thought then including Michael Porter Jr., there was 13 of 44 from the field. And when you got your 3 best jump shooters that are shooting that poorly, you're going to lose games. And I think functionally, if Murray had a better game, if Jokic had a better game, if Porter, I don't know how much I can blame him with the AC joint injury. If they hit their shots, I think then they win. They win those games. So functionally, go ahead, Ben. I don't want.
It's not that complicated. As defensive role and responsibilities, even as bringing the ball up the court, something that Jokic has been doing a lot, playing way more actively defensively, being much better getting back in transition. These are, let's just be honest about something. Nikola Jokic rests a lot on defense. Throughout his career, he's had an easier time on defense than maybe more prominent defenders. And I think he's been roasted for it quite a bit. He's had lazy closeouts. He's had very late rotations. We're not seeing that right now. We are seeing a Jokic that is very dialed in defensively. We are also seeing a Jokic who's effectively operating as his team's point guard. We are also seeing a Jokic that is going up against the other teams, and the other team might be the best defensive team of all time, according to some people and according to a lot of analytics. So what I'm seeing is all of this is a recipe for a lot of missed jump shots. If you're not used to playing both ends for 40 minutes a night against playoff aggression, you're going to get tired. You're going to get really tired, and your jumpers are going to be short. These are, I mentioned it earlier, the Clippers series, I think he played decently defensively. This series, I think, has been on another level. No, it's not Hakeem. No, it's not Prime Shaq, but it's competent level defense for a center, and that's not something that he's typically giving you. So now, all those rest possessions on defense,
so we're supposed to.
He doesn't have them anymore.
I agree. I think you're right. I just think that's a problem. That if Jokic
you got to play two ways.
Well, I don't think that's why he's. I don't think that's why he's missing his jumpers. So personally, that's me. I'm saying I don't think that's why.
But he's having. I can agree. But he's having two of his worst.
I just think
he's
that's
had back-to-back two of his worst free throw shooting series of his life.
Because he has to be a complete basketball player. Because he actually has to play basketball now.
Okay, first of all, look, I'm going to lean on something that Jason Tatum said the other day, and I thought that it was very apt and very poetic. When you get into this room, when you get into these conversations, you have to deal with the scrutiny. Let's just be honest. If a regular player had one game,
you deal with praise.
No. Hang on. If a regular player, a regular center like Ivica Zubac or someone who's not in MVP conversations had a series like Jokic is having right now, y'all would be saying he's a superstar. But because Jokic is having a series like this, you're saying he's a bum, and that's okay. Because that's what comes with the territory. Because when Swiper and I and other people put him in conversations with
Zoo played better than this in the first round, and he still didn't get superstar shots.
He what?
Zoo played better in the first round than Jokic is playing against OKC.
Oh, I disagree.
And he didn't get superstar shots.
How can you disagree with that?
Because
anyways, it don't matter if you disagree with it or not. I shouldn't even have said that. What's most important is that pin. Duh. Yes, obviously. Like that's what I be trying to say. Y'all talk about, y'all don't put Domantas Sabonis because Domantas Sabonis isn't in all-time great conversation, so I don't do that. So yes, obviously.
All I got from that is that he can't be a top 10 player.
That shit was not profound. We know this. That's how it works. When you're great,
not everything you say is profound. Standard. We still listen to you, don't we? So
you know what I'm saying? Like we understand. I'm listening to you. I heard what you said. It's not like I blocked you out. I heard what you said. I'm just saying though, like,
I appreciate that.
That's what we do.
But also, I think
thank you, Jason Tatum, for that those poetic words.
Are not on the same side as that, which is fine. Like everybody is entitled to their opinion, so I think that's fair for Penn to think that. But I don't. Jokic is not playing well enough to Jokic standards, so therefore he's getting cooked, rightfully so. I don't even think that's an argument. He deserves slander, critique, or slander for not living up to his expectation. But Ron bringing up, well, when you said this about Tatum isn't anywhere near Jokic conversation. I wouldn't even hold them near the same standard.
So that's how I feel about Jokic in the conversations you put him in. That's the point I'm trying to make.
So I'm saying, Ron, with who? Name a player. It's like Shaq.
Hakeem.
And he also had bad series.
Shaquille.
He also didn't play well in multiple games in the series.
Okay, and it's best.
Well, let Ron finish this.
And it's players that are in the best of the world conversations, Jokic, who don't play well. So Tatum didn't play well the first two games.
But you're not comparing him to Tatum. You're comparing him to people that are all-time great top 10 players of all time.
Here's Tatum's bar. Here's Tatum's bar. Chill grabbed his bar and moved it up here. And we told Chill, slow down. His bar's not that high. Here's Jokic's bar. You grab Jokic's bar, squeezed it tight, licked it, and then pushed it all the way up here. And we're trying to tell you that ball is not up there. Okay?
I put it there. I think his level of play for, I don't know, like maybe just whatever the last 5 years has put him in all-time great conversation.
You guys.
No, but
everyone agrees.
Have you ever seen a goldfish?
The disagreement is that you said he's a top 10 player of all time.
I'm cool with that, but that's fine. But all the
that's what Ron's alluding to.
I hear you. But my counterpoint, which is based on what Ron is yapping about, those players had bad series or bad playoff games, multiple in series.
The further you play away from the basket,
those players
have.
Jokic has had bad series, and he's in best.
It's a big ass by the basket.
Giannis has had bad series. He's in best in the world talks. Shea has had bad series. He's in best in the world talks. So if Jason Tatum can't be in best in the world talks because he doesn't play as good as those guys, but because he's having a bad series or whatever, Jokic having a bad series, and you're saying he can still be in the top 10 talks because so have the other top 10 players, but so have the other best in the world conversation players of today had bad series, but Jason Tatum can't be in those talks. That's the points Ron's making.
But I don't.
Why is it?
So y'all just saying it's picking and choosing.
Hold on. This whole
what Ron is saying.
conversation originated from a 5-year sample size when it started. The Tatum doesn't breathe in the same era as those other players. I would not.
And if you went on a 5, holy shit, I'm about to lose my mind. Are you kidding me? I watched this.
Go ahead, chill.
No.
Hold on, Mars. Hold on. Chill. Go ahead.
Don't hold on, Mars. Keep cooking.
I'm listening to.
What is happening right now?
No, but
Sniper don't run this, Mars. You run this, Mars, not Sniper.
There's 3 people talking.
Go ahead.
Keep cooking, young man.
So Jason Tatum over the last 5 years hasn't been in the same air as Shea, who's invested in the world conversation.
You're talking to
Shea's
me.
invested in the world conversation.
So we're saying individual people. Sure, he is.
No, he's not.
Okay, so if Shea can be invested in world conversations, and over the last 5 years, Jason Tatum has not only been better for more of those years, has played better in the playoffs than Shea has. Why can't Jason Tatum be invested in world conversations?
What about the last 2 years?
Who are you?
He's not a 26-year-old.
Does
that matter?
Me based on what I think, and then now it's moving to what other people think. I don't have Shea.
Shea is objectively invested in world conversations. He is.
Who? For who?
Tatum started at a higher point. Shea has reached that point and exceeded that.
For you, the best in the world conversation.
You're saying consensus.
For you, the best in the world conversation is just Jokic.
No, you're saying consensus. Now you moved it to consensus. I don't think he's invested in the world conversation.
He's in the conversation for people. That's what I'm saying.
So not the majority. So you're saying yes, sure. Not for some people.
The majority still have Jokic, the best player in the world, and don't really have a number 2 who's challenging him. That's the majority. But people have Giannis in the conversation. I know Ron is one of them. I know Ox just said Giannis is the best player in the world on Twitter the other day.
Correct.
I said it way before that.
A lot of people have Giannis as the second best player in the world. But also,
don't forget about Chill. How you feel about Tatum, Chill?
Especially throughout this regular season in particular, a lot of people have been saying that Shea is either the second best player in the world and is actually quite close to Jokic. So Shea has definitely been in that conversation throughout this regular season.
100%.
Especially when you hear some people saying he's better than Curry. He's closer to Kobe Bryant than Kobe is to Michael Jordan.
Okay,
Shea has definitely been in those conversations.
That's Penn.
But
and the fact that the way
Jason Tatum's playoff resume objectively clears Shea's.
100%.
So if that's the fact that why can Shea be in these talks?
And the fact that Joker is playing the way he's playing right now in these playoffs, that doesn't help this thing. It doesn't help it at all.
Oh, he's leaving the window open.
Yes, the door is not closed. The door is not closed because of the way he's playing right now.
Who is? Hold on.
We should all have Giannis as the best player then, if we're all down with this logic. When was the last time Giannis had?
No, you're down with that logic because all you.
No. I'm not. This is the way y'all are talking about it. I
do too, Mars. I'm not going to argue that point, but I think that Jason Tatum. I think he's a lot. I think he's a lot closer.
Because you're chill. Because for me, Mars lets you flip flop. I don't think that I can let you.
No, he doesn't. Mars has asked me. Have you asked me real quickly, Mars?
Let me finish. No, I'm not going to let you finish. 2 days ago, you just said they're getting swept, and then he allowed you to switch your position the next day. That's what happened. No, chill. You literally said they're getting swept. You said they're getting swept, and then you changed your mind 24 hours later.
What did
he allowed you to do that and said, we had a whole 30-minute segment about this.
Take your hat off, Sniper. Do this.
No, we had a whole 30-minute segment about this, Chill.
What did I tell you?
You just did this.
Did I not say that? Now, once again,
Chill, you're so disingenuous. You
watch that ball, brother.
No, Chill. Did you not just switch your pick in 24 hours from a sweep? Don't lie to me. We have film. You just said they were getting swept the next day. Whoever it's not until Boston goes out there the favorite to win the title. Did you not do that?
Yes,
is that a yes or no question?
I did.
Okay, so then he
no information, Sniper. No information.
Whoa. Not new information.
Not to acknowledge that he came into that show the day he said Boston were getting swept. He was thinking with emotion and not rationally. He said
that's what I was doing. That was
like, am I gonna hold him to that? Like,
yes,
no.
Because you said it.
No, he did say it. He did say it.
So if I say it,
if you acknowledge that a lot of what you say about Jokic is based on emotion and not reality.
For which parts? The defense, sure. Yeah,
that's up for you to decide which parts.
Yeah, he's.
But you think what you say about Jokic is just objective?
Yeah, that's emotion. That's emotion. Sure. Do I think he's the top 10 player that I ever watched?
That's why you get held to it more.
Oh, okay.
To acknowledge like the next day, I wasn't thinking straight. I was thinking with emotion. I was upset with Jason Tatum.
No, Chill. I'm going to ask Chill directly.
So he changed his opinion.
You said the door is open. To whom? For you?
to a number of different guys. And
Giannis is no longer in the playoffs.
And for me specifically,
well, it's for chill because he said it's based on the winning thing. Okay. So Giannis is no longer in the playoffs.
For me specifically, it's Jason Tatum. For me specifically, the door's open for him. It is.
Okay.
To be like top 5? Or?
No, that's not what I'm saying. No, that's not top 5.
Okay, all right. Seems like I think he needs to get through that door first before he gets to that door.
He's already top 5.
And you were Celtics.
No. Like not yet though. Like
I mean, you could be a Celtics.
Well, according to you don't think he's a top 5 player. I do.
Who's the 5?
So here's the thing. I think
he's
Jason Tatum took a step.
I don't see how.
I think Jason Tatum took a step this year, but I think most people in Boston that I've talked to, including people who cover the Boston Celtics, have always believed that there was a significant gap between Jason Tatum and those other guys. Jokic said, Embiid, Shea.
Chill said this 3.5 weeks ago that there was a gap, a pretty large gap. That's what he said 3.5 weeks ago.
Look, in this season, during this season, I think Jason Tatum had probably his best playmaking season. I think there was a little bit more wiggle in his game. I think there was some real talk that,
getting to the rim
sure, absolutely, processing the game a little bit better. You're like, damn, good job, JT. At 26, you're coming through. You're coming through and taking that next step. And maybe that next step does put him at like comfortably the 4th best player. But there's still another couple of steps before he gets into anything close to Giannis and Jokic conversations. And I think that's why
not for chill. Not for chill though. Not for chill.
And that's fine because the chill, he's probably looking at a guy being the best player on a team that's about to repeat in his mind as a 2-time champion. And yeah, some shit happens when you win 2 championships in a row. After no one's won 2 championships in a row.
The same thing about Duncan. I said the same thing about Brian. I said the same thing about James.
All tier, but all self-admitted. All self-admitted better than Tatum was, though, in their prime. All self-admitted. You said that.
Okay. Even last I checked, if Ox, can you explain something to me really quickly, Ox? If you were the best player in the world in, I don't know, let's say 2010, and you don't play in the league anymore, can I be the best player in the world in 2025? Can I do that?
What?
No. I get what you said.
Can I do that?
Y'all press
just because these dudes ain't around no more does not mean that I can't be the best player in the world. Even if Kobe Bryant is better than Jason Tatum, even if James is better than Jason Tatum, even if Tim Duncan is better than him,
the reason you get cooked about this is because we just heard you.
What are you talking about?
5 weeks ago, we just heard
you learn swipe a mind control. You switch this back on to Tatum.
Just chill.
You don't want yelling.
5 weeks ago that LeBron was better than Kobe for you, even though Kobe won back-to-back titles and Finals MVP. You just said that. You literally just said that. You said even without winning, you thought LeBron James was better than Kobe Bryant, despite the 2 titles.
But keep going, Swipe.
You said you thought he was better.
But he had Kobe number 1 because he could.
There you go.
No, but he said LeBron was better though.
Leave that part out.
Yeah, we're gonna circle. It's something I've just given up on that conversation.
But no, there is no giving up. You said out of your mouth. No, sure. You said out of your mouth that LeBron was better.
And you said out of your mouth that Jokic is the best offensive engine in NBA history. You said that.
Yes.
To us.
You said the same thing.
How come y'all don't have this energy for Giannis? He's 1-10, 1-9 in his last 10 playoff games. He has lost some of those games.
What has Giannis played like?
He lost 2 games.
What has Giannis? Hey, hold on. Wait.
Any energy for Giannis?
Hey,
Giannis is not held to the same standard.
Hold on, real quick, fellas.
He's the best player in the world. Ox said he's the best player in the world, didn't he?
Fellas, hold on.
He is the best player in the world.
You see, I got to tell the people right quick before we talk about who's the best player in the world. I got to tell the people about the best app in the world to get the best seats for playoff games in the world. Now, you guys see, it's really getting down to the wire right now. We got a series that's 2-2. We got another series that's 2-1. We got another series that's about to be 2-2. And, well, we also have another series that's basically over, but that's neither here nor there. You see, the thing about it is the close series that are going to go 7, you're going to want to be there if you are a real fan. And you're going to want to see how history is going to unfold. And there's only one place that's going to allow you to do that simply and easily and faster than everywhere else. Yes, we're talking about the Gametime app. They make getting tickets faster and easier, even for the hard-to-get playoff seats that, well, quite frankly, without the app, you just wouldn't be able to get. You see, the prices on the Gametime app actually go down the closer it gets to tip-off. They have killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seats before you purchase them, and they have the lowest prices guaranteed. Gametime takes the guesswork out of buying NBA playoff tickets. So you need to take the guesswork out of where you're going to buy your NBA Gametime or playoff tickets and download the Gametime app. Yes, download the Gametime app, create an account, use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. You guys already know I tell you this every time. Terms apply, but in the words of the greatest, biggest, dirtiest ox that I've ever met, who gives a damn about terms when you can get a percentage off? So go ahead and download that Gametime app today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed, and you can get in the game. We'll see you there. All right, Pin.
He disappeared, but I'll answer the question about why the energy is not being kept for Giannis. Because the energy being applied to Jokic right now is not because the Nuggets are winning or losing. It's because he's not playing well. Giannis played well against the Pacers. They lost. Giannis played well. You can give the weird face you want. Giannis played well. Now, whoever you think he played like the best in the world, that's for you to decipher. But Giannis played well. Jokic is not playing.
Swipe was giving you that Nico eye.
Yeah, I don't know why. I said Giannis played well. He looked at me like I said something crazy.
I just think objectively that
because he got blue by for that.
We don't do this with other players, and I think that's what.
Who doesn't do this for other players?
I think consistently, the Giannis thing with him winning and losing or the end of game stuff doesn't matter for most people. Like I think we even have in this series the end of game things defensively that happened with him, or even the shot making. It's not held to the same standard, and I think that's cool. That's fair. I think Giannis put up it's the point rebounds assist thing for Giannis, which I think is legitimate. It's not bad. Like 35, 14, and 5 or whatever else it was. Like that's really good. But I think the issue is that well, no, it's I think it's good, but I think the issue is when Jokic does that though, like he just called like a point rebound assist merchant or like a system merchant, and so I think
about that. Well, Swiper, I think if Giannis would have had Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon,
but Giannis was the favorite in 202023 when they lost to the Heat in 4-1.
Yeah, but I don't know about who was the favorite. I'm just talking about what's going on right now. You know what I mean? If Giannis had AG covering his back and bailing him out in late game situations, and Jamal Murray being Jamal Murray, I think Giannis would.
He had Kyle Kuzma.
Right, he did have Kuz. But if you would have added those guys, I think he would be just as far as Jokic. And on top of that, the issue is this, and I think this is a fair statement, Swiper. When you got to go through, because it's May, I'm talking about just constant, consistent, sloppy gawking, just gawk for Jokic for 9 months, and then we see this. I think it's fair to call him out. It's like, God damn. This dude, you said he was scheme proof. You said he has perfected basketball. Doesn't look like that.
Well, I think the last 3 games he's not been good and he's been bad and it's cost the team a win.
Yeah. I know, Swiper. You said that 50 times today. What I'm saying is,
both. I think
you're asking why Giannis doesn't get healthy.
That just doesn't make sense to me. Like, how could you say that you can't scheme against him, but then also say at the same time, like, he's the reason why they lost? I don't see how those two things can be a conundrum.
Well, I'm saying he's not playing well enough.
But you
like
said
he's
underperforming.
Are you saying that's more of Jokic than the scheme?
Well, I think that's I think it's Jokic. Like I think the issue is Jokic is not solving. I don't think it's not solving the issues in front of him, and he's also not performing well in the things that matter that he typically does.
Is he capable of solving the issues?
I think so. I think he did in game 1, and I think he can. I think he can. I think game 5 is going to be the story.
So you still think he's
the stuff that's in front of him is the reason why he's not performing well.
Sure.
So
I still think there's things that Jokic isn't doing though, like that are on his terms that he's not doing well enough though. Like it's just that simple. I think his decision making has been horrible, and like I could definitely always credit the scheme, but I think the issue is even the level of defense that he's seeing from OKC. One, I think we can agree he hasn't seen it before in the playoffs, and I think after game 1, OKC adjusted how they were guarding him, but also game 1.
What is this?
The jump shot was working.
Let me ask
that was the thing that turned the game down the stretch of the game. Go ahead.
So Swiper,
he's unschemable.
Well, wait a minute, Ox, because this is really interesting. So Swiper, what is this scheme that they're doing against Joker? Because I vividly remember them playing against the Lakers, and this scheme that they had never done
Which is
Worked.
which year? They played them
This
3
year.
times.
Yeah,
the regular season game.
Oh, the regular season
that
game.
Oh, when JJ Redick overcoached.
Yeah, we never saw that before. So now we're in a space. So now we're in a space with Joker not playing well. What scheme are you looking at in your estimation, Swiper, that's making Joker?
Well, I don't think any team in the last several years I can think of would have 2 paint protectors to the level of Hart and then Chet, and then having the level of off-ball defenders, not including Shea, but like Dort, Dub, like Case and Wallace, the rest of them that have allowed for this. And in particular, Hart, Chet, even Jay Will, because just functionally who he has around him. Hart, Chet, Jay Will, and then having Caruso and then Dort, especially the screen navigation stuff and trying to knock him off his spot. I don't think there's a collection of defensive talent that's been like that. And so I think that's one of the reasons why I think he's been struggling with especially the backside, weak side help stuff. I think that's some of the reason why he's been.
Didn't Minnesota do this against him last season?
No, Jokic averaged 30 and 11 on a good efficiency in that series. Just didn't shoot well from 3, but he shot 61% from 2s in that series. Like he was killing Rudy Gobert. He had a 40-30 game, 40-13 game with no turnovers. Like he had
a 40-22 game against Oklahoma City.
Yeah, but remember he had 30, but I'm saying he had a better series like versus the Wolves. He averaged 30-11-7 and like on good efficiency in that series. I think the issue is that he's having a worse series now than he did then.
So Oklahoma City,
if he was playing as well as he did last year in the second round, they would be a 3-1.
Well, I mean, he's unschemable and his teammates are unplayable. But game 3 of them scored 21 plus. You know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of inconsistency. I was saying his teammates. I know he scored 20. I'm saying the 3 other teammates scored 20.
What's the inconsistencies?
The inconsistency is that these dudes are unplayable and he's unschemable. It just looks the exact opposite. It looks like he is in fact schemable and his teammates are in fact playable.
I want
to Aaron Gordon can jump.
I want to push the conversation forward.
He does.
Yeah, well, Jokic isn't the only one who's dropped this playoffs. And I mean, we all know that playoffs is a different territory, and it's harder for scorers and offensive players in general to get what they typically get in the regular season. But you can see here on the screen that Jokic is the only one. Shea, we need to have discussions about you. Obviously, you can see Jason Tatum. You see Jalen Brunson, Anthony Edwards, Chet Holmgren. I don't know how he made it up here, but hey, he's up here. Chet, Jimmy, and Karl Anthony Towns are all playing well below their regular season percentages. So,
you know what's amazing, though? Jokic dropped the most. He's still the highest.
I'd hope so. I mean, shots within 6 feet.
Oh, now he's not shooting jumpers. You ever hear the phrase, the simplest explanation is often the best?
Most of his shots are still close to the rim.
He's exhausted, man. He's exhausted.
I'm not trying to hit
he's a professional basketball.
You can say it all you want.
That's the sorriest excuse. Come on.
It's not a sorry
excuse.
It's not a sorry excuse. We have seen it in the past.
Because he has to play defense.
Should his coach make him run suicides in practice or something? Like, how do they fix this?
Imagine that, Ron, playing both sides of the court.
That doesn't make somebody more tired doing it.
What about Tim Duncan?
Make it worse.
What about Kobe Bryant? What about all these all-time greats that was great, that gave it to you on offense and let you have it on defense too? What about Tim Duncan?
Yes, Duncan.
I'm glad you brought up Tim Duncan.
You want me to keep going?
I'm glad you brought up Kobe.
Please, Ron, keep going.
What about Giannis when he made his run?
Tim Duncan had his fair share.
1 year.
It doesn't matter. It
does matter because you're doing this year with Jokic. No. You're doing this year with Jokic. He brought up 1 year. You said he had his run. We don't have the other Giannis years.
Yeah, well, maybe his other runs didn't go as far because he was tired. Okay.
Well, objectively in Game 7. In Game 7 in 2022, objectively, he was gassed. He had 25, 20, and 9 and couldn't make a jump shot, period, or a layup. In the fourth quarter, he was gassed.
Anthony Edwards said,
"Who you talking about, Swiper?"
Giannis in 2022 in Game 7 couldn't make a layup in the fourth quarter. He was objectively
20 and 9.
Yes, and he sucked in the fourth quarter. He was gassed objectively.
Take me through one thing. Okay?
PRA easier to get than that.
23 Edwards did the same
thing. In 23-24, Jokic played 79 games. Started 79 games. Played 79 games. Okay, then he goes into the summer and carries Team Serbia through the Olympics. And played damn near what felt like every single minute.
He didn't have
no
to do
rest.
that, man. He didn't have to do that.
No, but he did.
Well,
he did.
yes, he did, because Team Serbia is the most important thing in his life beyond his horses. Okay, so he's not going to dodge that.
His children,
his family,
his family, number one, obviously. But you get what I'm saying. And then this year he comes in, and y'all talk about load management like it's the worst thing to ever happen. Well, he didn't load manage. He played heavy minutes for 70 games and carried. He has the hardest job offensively of any player in the league. And now he's into round 2. And by the way, round 1 was a drain. The Clippers were a really hard series. I had the Clippers as a championship contender. So he's had to go through a really hard series. And I'm glad you brought up Kobe, and I'm glad you bring up Tim Duncan and Shaq and Kobe and all these guys. Which one of those teams that you talk about as champions had a second option that you would actually not prefer to Jamal Murray or Aaron Gordon? As good as you think these guys are.
Aaron Gordon, the guy that's been saving them all playoffs. Jamal Murray, the guy that
respect to Aaron Gordon, respect to
Jamal Murray, the guy who's been saving him his whole playoff career.
Yes, I appreciate all of
that.
Guy. But you are not
the guy that hits game winners over Anthony Davis to beat the Lakers.
When Kobe Bryant won championships,
what's Jokic do?
He had Shaq and Pau Gasol.
So which year? Could you say
players are better than any player on the Denver Nuggets?
But
with credit to Giannis,
to be fair, Jamal Murray was 5 of 15 yesterday. He also struggled.
Yes, he did.
He's also playing more defense than he's played in years. He's also participating more defensively.
So now all of a sudden these guys are defending more than they've ever defended in their life.
Ron,
no.
Objectively, Ron. Objectively, yes.
No, this season,
yes, Ron. Objectively, them dudes are playing better defense.
Well, wait a minute.
I've never seen Jokic play that good defense. I seen him play yesterday.
Well, wait a minute. Why are we?
Maybe that's the issue.
No, Ron. That is the problem. That is 100% the problem, because they could have been doing this and they're not used to doing this. So now they're.
I'm glad you brought this up.
I don't think they could have played with this level of defense in the regular season.
First of all, why are we talking about?
Why not? They're basketball players. That's part of the.
No, because I just don't think that was. I don't think the. And this is what I'm saying, Ox. I disagree with Penn on the fatigue is the reason. I think here, like this is the reason. But I'm saying that it's not every player.
The brain needs oxygen, right?
I know.
Okay, sure.
Every player, every player that gets to this level, and especially bigs, then yes, like I think that matters. This is now the second round. I think these have been the 2 most physical series outside of the Rockets and Warrior series. So like this is a part of it. Like all those, they're in the midst of those battles. But I think the issue is that they're playing a level of defense. I told y'all. I didn't think they had in them. I said that before the playoffs. I didn't think they had him. Christian Brown, and I think we can transition here to actual basketball talk, since I think we're done with the Jokic slander, which is deserve it. Christian Brown has played better defense than I've ever seen him in this series. Can we agree with that?
He's a good defender.
I think what he's been doing to SGA has been like phenomenal. He has literally transformed. I think because of the level of effort he can give now, because the grind of the 82 is a lot. But I think now in a 16-game sample and knowing he has to do this, he has had SGA in a straitjacket. Is that fair to say, Ox?
No.
Yeah, Swiper. Imagine him doing that to Kobe Bryant.
Well, Kobe was in a straitjacket in series 2, by the way. Just
but that's why I'm having a
we've seen Kobe in the Pistons series. I'm saying like I don't want to act like we didn't see that series.
Tayshaun Prince, Rip Hamilton, Rasheed Wallace.
We don't know what Christian Brown's going to be. Maybe he's going to be in that conversation one day.
I don't care what he's going to be. I'm talking about what he is right now. Tayshaun was that.
Okay,
what
about 01 and 02, Ox? With Kobe?
What
about
01 and 02?
He averaged 50 points a game in the first finals. I mean, to be fair.
Why is Alex Caruso open? Why is Lou Dort open?
That's part of the plan.
Why is Chet open?
That's part
why
of
are they all open?
Because Russ open.
Players together to stop Shea Alexander because they're
why is Christian Brown open?
Christian Brown is.
I'm saying we didn't give Jokic that same bail.
You have
it was the same thing in the regular season too.
And
he's not breaking the coverages in the way.
I'll reject the
he's a superstar
logic that you could just take Shea off the court and you'll be better, or you'll just take Jokic
Well,
off
they
the court
were.
and you'll be better.
Their bench unit was.
No,
I didn't say that. But yesterday they won because of their bench. They won because of their bench.
Of course they won because of
their
bench.
I think they won because the zone got broken by the guys they brought in off the bench.
J-Dub was in at that time. I'm saying when they were down 6 and they came back with those 3, it was J-Dub manning the helm at the point of attack, and he was the one that was spreading the ball around.
Casual conversation.
No, it's not. That's what happened.
What about the game before the J-Dub won them though?
Stars
and SGA didn't show up.
When you talk about the inefficiency of star players, and then you
lost that one because SGA didn't give the ball to J-Dub.
You're not even understanding that there's a correlation between these two things.
Well, we didn't do that with Jokic just now for an hour and a half, though. We didn't do that. We didn't say anything about Brown and Russell Westbrook and Peyton Watson and all them. That was
Russell
never brought
struggled
up
yesterday too.
But I agree.
Swiper got a good point. He's a
whoa. Hold on. I don't. It's not. I don't think that's good logic. But I'm saying they did that for an hour and a half just now, so we can't then switch it to SGA and be like, what about these other players?
What we did, we spoke about Jokic not playing well, and we spoke about the things that Jokic can control.
Agreed.
Jokic
But we didn't bring up
superstar coverage. We understand that. Jokic is seeing superstar coverage.
Sure.
Giannis was seeing superstar coverage. Shea is seeing superstar coverage. Spoiler
they're
alert,
superstars.
Superstar coverage. Like Shea not playing as well as he could.
Forget Jason Tatum with that profound poetic.
If
the Charlotte Hornets want to cover Jokic, I'm sorry, you can superstar coverage him. You can put 5 players on him. You don't have the personnel to stop him.
Those aren't in the playoffs.
So does Denver have the personnel?
No one.
I will argue with Jokic and Porter and Murray participating as bigger defenders who, granted, have bad defensive tendencies and are lazy defenders during the regular season, but are active right now and are dialed in with really good defenders like Christian Brown and Aaron Gordon. Yes, you can, through an aggregate scheme, and credit to David Adelman, he's done a great job. You can stop and slow down Shea, just like the OKC Thunder can stop and shut down, or not shut down, but stop and drastically reduce the efficiency of a Jokic. But what that does typically is it forces role players to make shots. And really, if the series is going to come down to which team's role players have been better, offensively, Denver's role players have been better.
But the thing is, Denver, you can't hold that like my role players got to make shots when Jokic is out here bricking wide open shots. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to do your job too.
No one is disagreeing that you need to make wide open shots. What I'm saying is, why are those shots wide open?
Which I think is interesting, Mars, because we have not had a conversation about Shea.
Why are Jokic's threes wide open?
Last series against
Memphis.
That's the I don't know if you guys know this. I'm not sure if you guys know this. Because I heard you guys get on my case last week. I heard you guys get on my case last week about Jason Tatum for 3 years. Just so you guys know, this playoff series, in the fourth quarter against the Memphis Grizzlies, Shea is shooting 30% from the floor. In this series against the Denver Nuggets, before yesterday, 12.5% from the floor. That's what he's doing. That's what Shea is doing. That doesn't include what happened last year when he played against New Orleans. I think he shot 41%. And then against Dallas, he shot, I think, 36, if I'm not mistaken. So this is what's going on with him. Now, this series in particular against Denver, I think that's largely due to how Denver's playing defense. They're beating him to his spots that he wants to get to.
That Russ play was incredible, bro. I got out my seat. I'm not gonna
100%.
I stood up, Box. I said, "Oh my god!"
Me too.
We
got him on something. Step up.
We were all doing it.
Letting them play.
Beating him to spots, taking him off the ball, getting him out of rhythm. All of that stuff matters when you got a scorer like Shea, who is, as Mars pointed out, he is a volume shooter. 100%, he's a volume shooter. So because he's shooting at a high volume, well, when you take the ball out of his hands, now we start to get him rushing more shots. So he has not been good in these playoffs at all.
Chill. I have seen Aaron Gordon, I have seen Christian Brown, I have seen Jamal Murray, and I have seen Russell Westbrook put their forehead in Shea's jersey,
right there,
1-on-1, mano a mano, and make that boy give the rock up.
So yeah,
I have seen Russ not step back but step up and make him go left. Boom, I beat you there. Go right, kid. Boom, I beat you there. You get nothing. I've seen it happen. 4 different players consistently. I've seen one-on-one coverage on Shea, him getting clamped up.
Yep.
It's not like every time he touches the ball, they're sending 4, 3.
It was one-on-one, Pen.
I've seen a good bit of one-on-one with Christian Brown. I'm not gonna lie.
100%.
You know what, Pen? If you're gonna say no, chill, because look, he's gonna try to tell you that because there's somebody 10 feet away watching that's not one-on-one. It's one-on-one basketball. Manu and manu, forehead to chest, make him give the ball up. I seen Aaron Gordon leave the block, push Christian Brown out the way, and make SGA give the pill up.
So
that's
are you
one-on-one coverage,
I just want to hear something. Are you?
I'm just telling you what I said. The only thing I'm telling you is what I said. That's all I'm saying.
When you say one-on-one, are you acting like if I remove the other 8 players?
I'm saying what I said. That's it.
Okay. Are you saying that if I remove the other 8 players, that their defense doesn't change for that one-on-one defense? Are you saying that Russell Westbrook can guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with 25 feet of space with no other players on the court?
He looked like he could do it yesterday.
What guard gets that coverage? What guard gets that coverage?
What are we talking about, Pen?
That's not the case. He beat him. That just that one specific play, Pen, where he tried to go left. Nope. He tried to go back and go right. Nope. He tried to get downhill. Nope. None of that stuff was going on. And he had to get off the field.
We didn't see a second defender involved in that.
I did not see.
I didn't.
But wait a minute. That's so interesting how what guard gets guarded like that at this level, though. Brunson doesn't get that. Steph Curry, for damn sure, doesn't get that. Anthony Edwards doesn't get that. But who? Well, Anthony Edwards also has some stinkers too. But who? Everyone, like who doesn't get guarded like that? Donovan Mitchell doesn't get guarded like that. None of them do.
25 feet. I mean, I think that's not
one-on-one, Mars. Just one-on-one with no help.
Like, I'm not saying that's all games. So I'm not trying to insinuate that.
What'd
you say, Matty?
I mean, I don't think they get guarded the same way, but the closest thing I could think of to like a guard who gets guarded the same way Shai does, faces those same type of coverages is Luka Doncic. That's the only one that I could think
What is
of.
Brunson getting right now from the Celtics?
Yeah, well, Brunson's actually getting a lot of one-on-one, but that's just the Boston.
I think Brunson is just more missing his shot.
Yeah, that's Boston, just like their inherent plan. They just.
I'm watching these possessions. Wait. Mm-hmm. I'm watching these possessions. Shai has Christian Brown in the low post. He tried to bait a foul. He missed it. There's nobody else there. Like that's the first possession. It was a turnaround.
He gets a lot. He gets a lot of one-on-one coverage. I'm not saying it's like that all game. Obviously, they send help. They do that. That's good basketball. That's what you're supposed to do. I'm not at all insinuating that they're guarding Shai one-on-one for 48 minutes or however long he's in the game. I'm not saying that, y'all. And y'all, I believe that y'all all know I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is I've seen multiple possessions, multiple upon multiple, game after game, where he's getting locked up one-on-one. And y'all want me to believe that it's impossible to guard him one-on-one. That I'm not gonna say his name again. I refuse to disrespect him again. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all want me to believe that he's one of these dudes. He's not. It's just not like that yet.
There's a lot of one-on-one coverage. Like a lot of one-on-one stuff has like gap help and stuff. Like so maybe some people consider Shai's not getting into the gap. So like he's not beating the primary defender to force the gap help. Like they're there present. Like if you get beat, I'm here in the gaps. But Shai's not beating them. That's like, so to Ox's point, he's not getting to the second layer of the defense anyway. So we can point out, well, there is gap help. You actually got Aaron Gordon here. He's here if Christian Brown gets beat, he's here to help. Cool. But Christian Brown doesn't get beat. And that's Ox's point. Shai's not beating the initial defender to even have the gap help be a part of it.
Not consistently, at least.
Yeah, that's the concern. Now, I do think Shai did a few good things against the zone. I actually think OKC executed really well out of the zone. Created a lot of good shots, and I think Shai's a big part of that. But I also think Shai is over dribbling. Shai's taking way too long to make decisions, and that's been a flaw of Shai for a minute. Like he doesn't see the floor as well as like the elite playmakers. I'm speaking for myself. I thought it wouldn't be as big of an issue because of how good I thought Shai was one-on-one. That I didn't think his inability to decipher defenses at the speed required was going to hold him back a whole lot. I think I'm wrong. I think Shai's inability to decipher defenses at the speed of a Tyrese Halliburton, Luka Doncic, Jokic, etc. I do think that holds back his scoring value. And also, he drives more than anyone in the league, but he's not getting to the rim with the same frequency he got to in the regular season. And this is a Jokic anchored defense, and he's not getting to the rim.
Rim deterrence.
Sure.
I think Mars didn't Shai get the ball, dribble out, try to be smooth, try to be slow, try to crawl to the rim. You're not Paul Pierce. You don't got no Paulie in your game. Nigga, stop that. Just play basketball.
So like that's the biggest concern for me is that he's just not getting to the rim with that same level of frequency. And this is back-to-back postseasons where that's been the case. This isn't just this postseason thing. Last postseason, he wasn't getting to the rim with that same level of frequency, but he was so good in the mid-range last postseason, especially against Dallas, that was like, it doesn't really matter. But like, we're getting to a point now where it's like, if your obviously, if a lot of your shot diet is predicated on you making these pull-up jump shots, I question the ceiling of which your scoring is. Like, I'm not as high on your scoring as I was 3 weeks.
Does he need to get stronger?
When I'm looking,
does he need to get stronger?
I don't know. I think
his strength is fine. I think he uses his off arm better than anyone in the NBA in terms of like push offs and creating separation. I think he has to. I think his tunnel vision is his biggest issue, personally. I don't think it's a physical limitation. I still think he has the agility, the balance. I still think the handle is elite. And I think he uses his off-arm better than damn near anyone in the league. I just think he has major tunnel vision. If I were to compare it to anyone in terms of like these elite scorers who have that level of tunnel vision, he's like guard Embiid. Like, that's how I view him. He's guard Embiid. And I think that's problematic. And I think teams are able to scheme against that in the playoffs in a way that they aren't able to do in the regular season. And I still think he's amazing. I still think he's a tier 2 guard of the last 25 years. For me, Steph and Kobe, they can stay out these talks. They're tier 1. They got it. Tier 2, Shea, D Wade, James Harden, T-Mac in 03, Chris Paul, like those level. I think he's in that group. Now, is he at the top of that group like I was alluding to a month or so ago when I said he might actually be better than peak James Harden? Maybe he's not at the top. Luka Doncic. Maybe he's not at the top of that group, but I still think he's in that group. I'm not saying, Shea's actually not that good. He's actually like worse than insert tier 3 guard. He's not better than Darren Williams. Like, I'm not saying that. But I do think maybe I jumped the gun in terms of how impenetrable I thought his game would be in the playoffs. And I think I undersold the court mapping that I think he lacks. I think
the court mapping needs to get better. I think he needs to get stronger. And I think his 3-point shot needs to become a little bit more consistent to give himself a little bit more wiggle room.
6'5", he's about 225, man. He's not a small
dude. He's 6'6". He's 6'6", about 210.
Who?
SGA
is not.
I don't know if Shea's 225.
He's not 6'6".
6'5", 210 isn't a little dude though.
Yo, he's not small.
I think Shea's strength is fine. I don't think Shea's strength is problematic.
I don't think he needs to get stronger. I don't.
Yeah, and he's super long too. Like you said.
Yes.
Like the
I think, and I'm saying relative to what I've seen in person, I don't think he's 6'6". Personally,
watching this play against Russell Westbrook, I mean, it's obvious to me that when he's kind of pushing Russell's not moving back. So to me, yeah, you do.
Russ is also like very strong.
Oh, well, he's not strong as Russ.
Yeah, but I don't think he's ever gonna be stronger than Russ. Like, I don't. Like, we can be like, oh well, there's gonna be physical. There's gonna be players who are stronger physically than him.
I just feel like he's getting beat up. I think he's getting beat up a lot.
Shea just has more control over the ball. Like that's kind of what gaps.
I think we can all agree across all the playoff series we've seen so far, physicality is up, fouls are down, right? People,
that's good. That's good basketball.
I mean, look, Swiper. In fairness, you were complaining about how Jokic was getting fouled and not getting calls, and a lot of people are complaining that Jalen Brunson's getting hacked. He's not getting calls. This guy's getting hacked.
I think the interior defense is different than perimeter. I think perimeter calls have maintained relative level though.
I'm seeing a lot of plays that maybe in the regular season would have been called a foul that are being left to play.
Well, I think Shea got an easy touch foul, like a couple of them yesterday.
There is statistically more fouls per game in the postseason than the regular season this year. But I do think it's obviously more physical. Yeah. But just on a numbers basis, it was 18.6 fouls per game in the regular season. We're at 20.2 in the playoffs. But I still do overall.
I think if physical aggression dials up 2 times and fouls go up by
exactly, that's why I'm still with you.
Yeah.
All right, fellas.
I mean, it's playoff basketball. It's supposed to be physical.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. If you're watching right now, make sure you turn on your notification bells. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe. And shout out to all of our members and our Hall of Famers specifically. Y'all, we are going to turn a page and we're going to get into this Knicks and Celtics series. My man, Matty Ice, is a Celtics fan, so I want to hear how he feels about that. Dale just joined up. But Dale, was there something in specific that you wasn't feeling?
Yeah, I saw some Shea is a lot closer to Kobe than that was ridiculous. I saw something along those lines. Then I got a text talking about
y'all leaving work for this is crazy, by the way. What's up, bro?
leaving. I'm here. Like I'm still in the I'm leaving work. I'm leaving work for work.
Dale, the way it was exactly was Shea is closer to Kobe than Kobe is closer to Jordan.
Who said that?
Can I get an explanation?
That was AI generated. Nobody would. Really
I'm not watching the. I'm not watching that clip. I read the title. Can you explain the rationale for that?
Yeah, I think Michael Jordan's that good.
So you just think? So it's not about Shea and Kobe. It's about how much better Michael Jordan is than Kobe. That's what
the point was that people were getting up in arms about anyone comparing anyone to a past great, and I said it's been quite conventional to compare.
Not just a past great, Pin.
Yeah, it is just a past great. Look, man, I'm old enough to remember Grant Hill is the next Michael Jordan talks. I remember that. That happened for years. I'm old enough to remember Penny Hardaway could be the next Michael Jordan. I remember that. I'm even old enough to remember Mikal Petrus might be the next Michael Jordan. So
none of them were as good as Kobe, though.
Let Penny stay home.
Wait, let him
That's
finish.
not the point.
Let him finish.
So we have absolutely talked about players against past greats. We've done it. We talk about Luka versus Magic Johnson. We talk about LeBron versus Jordan. LeBron versus Magic. I'm sorry, LeBron doesn't have as many rings as Michael Jordan, and those comparisons started before he got his second ring. So look, man, we've talked about players in that context,
Let me ask you a
but
question.
people get really upset when we put Shea in those contexts or Jokic in that context. And I have a suspicious feeling that it's because they're both international.
What?
But that might not be it.
Whoa, what?
No, he does. He said that might not be it. Okay.
Right. So let me.
So then why bring it up then, Chill? You can't just let him say that and then say, "Oh, maybe not," and just let him get away with it.
It's like
Chill. You're being real passive today. I don't like it.
Do you really feel like that though, Penn? Like you brought the Canadian thing up. Do you really feel like that?
Shea
you think him being Canadian has something to do with it? Yes or no?
Shea and Jokic did not benefit from the same AAU hype that a lot of these young players came up with. Cats like RJ Barrett, who is Canadian, happens to be Canadian. Cats like Cade Cunningham. So when players like that ascend, that kind of matches your expectation of what you thought they would be when they were 14, 15, 16, as you were starting to envision. Because let's be honest, we get really hype about 16-year-olds, right? I was up there saying AJ DeBonis is going to be this and that because of who he was at 16. So right now, AJ is getting stamped at 16 as he's next up. He's the next one. Anthony Edwards, first overall pick. But when guys like Shea, who's like 11th overall pick, supposed to be a role player, comes out of Kentucky.
Whoa, Penn, don't say 11th overall pick. From where? I'm sorry.
Kentucky.
A lottery pick out of Kentucky.
From the University of Kentucky. He went to a big time Division I school.
So did Case and Wallace.
He was a class A.
So did Case and Wallace.
Can we get back to the Kobe thing, please?
But keep
going.
So
I'm just saying that when guys like Jokic and when guys like Jokic and guys like Shea come out of kind of the blue a little bit, there's a little bit more apprehension about anointing them as next up. They weren't high lottery picks. You didn't have those expectations of them coming out. So there's really nothing there that built into your expectation that they were supposed to be that player. Y'all have no problem putting Cade Cunningham in. Oh, he might be the second best shooting guard in the league. You got Ron up here. Hey, people have said that. People have said.
That's not as outrageous as what you said, though.
Wait, hold on.
It's a lot more outrageous than what I said.
As you were saying,
we can hear you, Dale.
As you were saying, Dale.
A couple of things you said incorrectly. One is the hype thing. Kobe wasn't compared to Mike when he first got drafted. I don't know if you know that. So that's an X right there. Kobe had to prove himself.
But I didn't say that.
No, but you're saying that this hype thing that you're talking about with like Shea and Jokic, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like
was Kobe one of the best high school players in the country?
Yes.
Okay. Was Shea the best high school player? Was Shea a better high school player than Kobe?
No, Shea was drafted higher than him, though. He was 11th. Kobe was 13th. What are you talking about? That makes no sense.
In an era where people did not draft high schoolers very high. Tracy McGrady was 9th. Jermaine O'Neal was 17th or 16th. Kevin Garnett was 5th.
The number 5. Yeah, the year before.
That's high. That's higher than 13. What are you talking about? Let me finish, though, because you said a lot of stuff I didn't agree with. You said this hype stuff from Europe. Of course, Joe's not going to have the hype. He was a second-round pick. So what hype are you talking about? Luka had it, right? Luka had the hype. Why are you not bringing up Luka in this? He's European too. You're not bringing him up. You're not
People
bringing
have
up.
No problem putting Luka in LeBron conversations. People have been putting Luka and LeBron conversations for years.
That's
my whole point. My
No,
point
it's
is
not.
when you're an underrated prospect, not Luka, not RJ Barrett.
Why would
both are
someone
international
hyper?
players.
Why would he be underrated though?
But why would they hyper underrated prospect anyway? Though that doesn't make sense. You have to make yourself that. What are you talking about? I'm trying to explain.
I don't know why everyone's so confused about what I'm saying because I swear I'm speaking plain English.
But SGA wasn't underrated. He was properly rated. He didn't have the same.
What does this have to do with Shea being?
Yeah, that's what I'm confused.
I'm saying that for someone to put Jalen Brunson, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Jokic in higher conversations, there's usually a lot more scrutiny because they weren't hyped as prospects. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
That's not true though. Shea's on. Nobody comes with scrutiny. The reason, and then you also said people are comparing. LeBron doesn't have rings. You said some of the rings compared to somebody. You said something like that.
Yeah, like, LeBron was being compared to Jordan before he won his second ring.
You're comparing Shea to Kobe, and he has 0 rings, and Kobe has 5.
Cool.
What?
Stay right there, Dell. Stay right there because Penn, we had this conversation yesterday.
What is he talking about?
Where we are right now with SGA, I think we're in year 8, if I'm not mistaken. Are we in year 8 or year 7?
He came in 2018. Yes.
Okay, so we're in year 7. So, and I asked you this question yesterday, Penn, and I'm gonna ask it again in front of the panel. Year 7, Bryant was in year 2003. Compare that Bryant to SGA today. Where is the gap in your estimation?
There isn't a gap.
So they're the same dude. That's what we're doing.
Did you see Kobe in that playoff run?
Okay. Focus, Mars. Stay with me, Mars.
Playoff Kobe 2004, 2003, 2002, 2003. Yeah, he was better than what SGA is doing right now. Regular season, SGA is way better. He's more efficient. He has way less help. He is the team's best player.
But he's on a generational team though. He's one of the best teams ever.
He's the reason they're generational.
I'm glad we're here now. I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad we can finally have this conversation about what OKC was in the regular season and how much help they also been winning in the series so far.
You guys can straighten me out. I believe in 2003.
I
believe in 2003. Wasn't that the year that Bryant had not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6? Didn't he have 7 straight 40-point games? Didn't he do that year, if I'm not mistaken?
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken, I think he had 7 straight 40-point games. I think
Kobe was a better defender by a good amount by that point, by the way.
And with that,
Kobe still averaged 30 that year.
I'm not gonna lie. If we're talking about his defense in the playoffs, what has he done? Respectfully, like he has not had any responsibility relative to anybody on his roster. None. He's literally hiding on every off-ball player in the series. He doesn't do anything. Like he's literally non-existent.
I don't think Shea does anything better than Kobe. I'm trying to think. I can't think of one thing on the basketball court other than dribble slow that he does better than Kobe.
The separation for me is at the rim.
I think he's about 100.
Maybe slashing, but like that's it.
I won't even talk to you guys
Kobe
about
getting to the rack. And when he got there, he's dunking on you.
That's where the separation is.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Maybe because he's struggling right now.
Slamming it on you.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking. I think at the rim, I think that it's this. I don't think it's close at the rim between these two dudes. Just off the strength that Bryant played above the rim, and not only did he play above the rim, how much more creativity he had at the rim than SGA with both hands, with the weak hand and with the strong hand. He was a better athlete. He was stronger. He was much better at finishing at the rim. I think that at the rim, I think that's where the step. I ain't even talking about the defense. I ain't talking about him being able to create space. I'm just talking about at the rim, the athlete that he was. I don't think it's close.
Pen, you ought to be ashamed of your damn self.
I don't think
because you was there.
No,
you're old enough to have seen Kobe. And we supposed to be letting this younger generation know just the type of demon Kobe was at that moment in time. His footwork was impeccable.
Yes.
His one dribble pull up was second to none. He'll get you on that block. That year that you're talking about, 2003.
4 series better. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. Off the top of my head, I can think of 3 series Kobe probably had that would top anything SGA has done by that point. And I'm talking about just 1, 2, like 2001, 2002, 2003.
Pen,
at least.
Really quickly. In 2000, I ain't even
don't bring up that Sacramento series because that blows.
No. I ain't even thinking about. I'm thinking about the San Antonio series in 2001 in the West Finals.
We have
that's the one I'm thinking about. I ain't thinking about none of them other ones.
NBA Finals.
I ain't thinking about the finals. I'm thinking about that San Antonio
series.
But this is 3 or 4 series he'd been in though that he struggled to a pretty significant degree though.
Cool.
Well, I mean, that's a big deal, but Pen, I'm saying like that's a big deal though. Like,
and I'm not gonna lie, I love your cool ad libs, and you should get a shirt that say "cool." It's like your 3rd time saying it. I'm a fan of it.
Yeah.
Cool ad-lib.
Shouts. That's like me saying shouts.
Like when you be like cool, like to a point that's like jabbing you and like right hook to you, be like cool. It's like you taking it, but you only say it when you get right hooked. You be like cool, but it's a great thing. Cool with a PC under it.
Yeah.
Fire. It's like bubble MVP.
Okay.
Oh no, it's not that good.
You said y'all said that you don't know anything that SGA does better than Kobe.
One person said that.
You said that. Okay.
No, I didn't say that.
No, it was Ron who said
it was Ron, right? My bad.
I disagree.
There's a lot of things that SGA does better than Kobe.
Such as
he's 10% more efficient from 2-point range.
Now Mars
relative to the era. Well, hold on, relative to the era. Relative to the era.
I want Mars to get him.
Sure.
Mars.
What do you want me to do?
You know what to do.
As you Ben, keep going. He's 10% more efficient from 2. Keep going, Ben.
The same years you're talking about. You're talking about 02-03 with Kobe. You're talking about this year with Shea, and we're talking regular season here.
Wait a minute.
Shea has a 3-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. Kobe had a 2-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. I was told that assist to turnover ratio really matters because if it matters with the Jokic, so
we're talking regular season or
Kobe
playoffs?
turned the ball over a lot more, and he made fewer assists. He made fewer passes. I also want to bring up the fact that SGA has never played with any player ever in his life.
Can't do the help conversation with SGA though. I just
I want to see where he's going. I want to see where he's going.
Best player since he got to the to the Thunder with that 1 year.
No, he wasn't.
With Chris Paul. He has been throughout any year that you can consider SGA's prime from 23 onward. He's been his team's best player.
Yes,
that is not something that Kobe had to go through until Shaq left. When Shaq left and Kobe was left with depleted rosters that didn't have that type of talent, he was in 1-round exits or in the lottery. Okay. It wasn't until you put up a really veteran-laden roster around him with a lot of really good players like Pau Gasol, Andrew Bynum, Ron Artest, Lamar Odom, Derek Fisher. You brought all those players back. You had the best coach of all time. And I want to bring up youth and inexperience because I think everyone up here can agree that you get better with reps. Throughout life, you get better with reps.
Okay.
You are talking about the best player, bar none. There's no conversation about, is he better than Chet? Is he better than J-Dub? No, it's clearly he's 2 times better than those players. He's so much better than his second.
Why is Michael Jordan better than Shea?
Hang on, Matty Ice. Hang on one sec. This OKC Thunder team was not
that's
only
good logic though.
Not only according to some people the best regular season team or one of the 5 best regular season teams we've ever seen. They're not only the best defense analytically we've ever seen. They were also the youngest team in the NBA this year.
What is that defense?
That's correct.
Let me ask you a question.
That is correct.
The same logic you just used for like Kobe compared to Shea, you could use the same thing for Michael Jordan. If you want to tax Kobe for being less efficient in an era where there was less possessions and guys just naturally weren't as efficient as they are now, you can do the same thing with Michael Jordan. You want to talk about like Kobe not winning unless you got those veterans around the same team? I can do the same thing with Michael Jordan.
You do it with anyone though, but that's not the problem.
Matty, and this is why you cook me in the PCL.
Like, this is the point, man.
Kobe, no, wait, hold on, Penn.
No. I just want to know, like, what's the extent of picking and choosing, like, the logic that you want to use when it comes to this?
My extent is that there is a window of opportunity where superstars win championships, and it's usually when they have veteran-laden rosters with veteran coaches, where they have a lot of playoff reps behind them, and they've gone through the failures. Jokic went through a lot of failures before they emerged as a champion. Giannis went through a lot of failures. There is a natural progression here. Now, unfortunately, the OKC Thunder are a 68-win team. They're not a 42, 44-inch, 44-win play-in team where we can still buy into the whole, they're a young up-and-coming team. But they are a young up-and-coming team.
But neither were the Lakers, though. You can say the same thing about the Lakers.
The Lakers were way older.
I just want to know what young player he had when Shaq left that was good as J-Dub. That's an all-star.
You think when Shaq left, he was as good as J-Dub?
No, I'm saying you're downing Kobe teams as all these. At that time, when they left, who did Kobe have that was good as the all-star J-Dub?
I don't think anyone on his team was as good as J-Dub or Chet.
So why you?
I don't rate Kwame Brown like that. But I'm saying when he had those teams, because you're comparing a lottery team to a 68-win regular season team. Those are not the same thing.
He didn't have those teams. You're using that team. Kobe had to compare to Chet team this year, where it doesn't add up.
I'm telling you that Shea is not playing with another superstar. So if you want context,
no, stop. No. You did that. You brought up that team when Shaq left and compared it to Chet's best team, which is this year. It's not a good comparison. Chet has Chet. He has a great bench. He has a Lou Dort, and he also have a fellow All-Star. Kobe had Chris Mim, Kwame Brown, Smush Parker, who plays with me on my pro-am team. Till this day, Smush Parker, he's also a referee now. That's who you're comparing to this 68-win team. That doesn't make any sense.
Chucky Atkins.
What I'm trying to tell you is that when Kobe Bryant did not have a lot of help around him, Kobe Bryant was not winning championships.
Duh. Like, why are you even some of the stuff? Are you serious? Like, we know that.
You want to ice? No. Here's the thing. We're comparing teams here. We're comparing team success. We're comparing, championships and all this stuff. Last I checked, all of that is team. No player has ever won a championship without their head coach. You want to put Mark Daigneault in Phil Jackson conversations? Because I don't. You want to talk about the experience?
He is the coach.
Phil Jackson wasn't always Phil Jackson, Penn. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Hang on. I'm not putting him in conversation.
Phil Jackson wasn't always Phil Jackson. Just like Greg Popovich wasn't always Greg Popovich.
And Mark Daigneault might become as good as Phil Jackson in 20 years, but he ain't there today, chill. So what I'm saying is, how many times have we talked about in this series already? Mark Daigneault has made a mistake. Mark Daigneault is he fouled too early. These are experience. These are mistakes that veteran teams do not make. Typically, these are mistakes that young teams make. Lou Dort, relative to NBA experience, is young. Chet is in his second freaking year. Kobe wasn't winning championships with second-year players. Those second-year players were his bench bomb.
Can we just admit the league is different now, though? Like in OKC,
league
has
is a little bit younger. Yes, they are younger. Yes, they are
OKC has the most talented roster in the NBA, though. Like that
what
matters.
I'm trying to tell you is put some damn respect, because this dude that you don't want to, that you say couldn't tie Kobe's jockstrap, just was the best player on a damn near 68-win team as the youngest team in the league. And by the way, none of that shit has ever happened before.
Why do people keep bringing up that youngest point thing when they're just
because young teams lose,
but they're clearly better than everybody in the regular season, though. Like I don't. For me,
they're not better without him.
They were very good without him, though. Like I think we had this conversation all season. They were still
one of the youngest teams in the league, and they were the 2 seed.
Yes, credit to their youth. And credit to
Chill. I explained to you in Penn yesterday that them 68 wins was fake. I explained it to y'all.
And they don't count.
You did say that.
No, they count. No, they count 100%.
The score got manipulated.
No, Ron. I don't mean it like that.
John Stockton shit.
No, let me tell you, Ron, because it's like when these veteran teams, the Nuggets, the Clippers, even the Warriors, to a lesser extent the Warriors because they had trouble early. Even Minnesota, some of those teams, right? They saw how close the West was and realized the 1 seed and the 5 seed is the same thing. You know what I'm saying? The 2 seed and the 6 seed, it don't really matter. So that was kind of more so going through the season, trying to stay healthy, trying to get healthy, trying to work on things that they were going to need to work on in the playoffs. Different sets, different schemes, you know what I mean? Things like that. These young teams like the Rockets and OKC, they didn't see that. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't have the foresight. You know what I mean?
So they was just like in the regular season.
Not even exhaust themselves. They were just like, we're gonna win. We gotta get that 4. They gotta get that 1 seed. Those 68 wins don't mean nothing, man.
What's it?
I really feel this help conversation for me is just wild, because outside of maybe Boston, who in the league is better situated to be able to advance throughout the playoffs with the health that he has? Like even yesterday, they won because of their bench. They had 3 guys come off the bench that made buckets and played defense.
Here's also the flip side to that. You can't give me a team that has won the NBA championship with a bunch of kids at the helm. You can't. There's not one team in NBA.
Maybe like the first NBA
76, 77 Portland Trailblazers.
Yeah, the 77 Blazers. That's the team.
That's the youngest team.
Almost 50 years ago.
Right. And the last team that was young, the last team that was younger than average to win an NBA championship was the 14-15 Golden State Warriors, who won with an average age of 26.3, 26.4.
Those ain't
26
kids.
and a half. Those aren't kids. You're right. You're right. Those aren't kids.
And they had crazy veterans on that team.
Right.
They did.
Not kids. They're not like what Oklahoma City had with KD 23, Russ 22,
Absolutely.
James Harden.
I mean, how old was the 15
kid.
Warriors Finals MVP?
24.
Steph Curry 24, 25, something like that.
24.
As the 2015 Finals
season.
MVP.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, you're talking about Andre Iguodala. You're talking about Andre Iguodala.
I mean, I'm not saying that he was better than Curry. I'm just bringing it up. Like
he's been in the league. I think he showed up in 2006, 2000.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's been in the league almost 10 years at that point.
Yeah, that's why Steph couldn't win the Finals MVP. He wasn't old enough. So shout out to Andre Iguodala.
Caruso Finals MVP this year.
But y'all, my man Matty Ice is up here, and he is a Celtics fan, and so I gotta ask him, what's going on in this series? How do you feel as of right now? The series is 2-1, and they do play tonight. What are you feeling? Talk to us.
I mean, the way I'm feeling is proving everything that I was saying right about the Celtics last year. Last year, I don't know if any of y'all up here was saying it, but I was hearing people call us super team, hearing people call us the next dynasty. And as much as I would love that, you don't win a dynasty by shooting 53s a game unless you're Steph Curry and Kevin Durant. And I'm sorry to break it to y'all. We're not
and the immortal Klay Thompson.
Yeah, him too. Like
a fully erect Klay Thompson.
We don't have a single shooter that's better than any of them guys. And also, like, okay, I do think we're going to win the series. Let me just make that clear. The Celtics are the first team in NBA history to have an away court advantage. I've never seen that before. Like, they're so much better away than they are at home. And I don't know how that works. I can't explain it to you. It's some devil magic. I don't know. But basically, Jason Tatum, we all know that his problems in game 1 and 2, he had problems in game 3, but he played relatively better. So I'm not going to really bash him too much for that. This is just who he is. I mean, it's before it was, if the threes aren't falling, he should go to the basket. He's going to the basket in this series. I don't know if y'all have been peeping that. He's been going to the basket at a decent clip, and he still hasn't. He has not been finishing. I mean,
layups. Yep, that's a fact.
Yeah, I mean, and back to the shooting. Go ahead.
With that being said, I still think all the heat's on the Knicks. I do. I think all the heat is on the Knicks in the series right now, and the reason why, because if the Knicks end up giving up this game, one, the Celtics just got back the 2 games that they gave up. Number 2, now they go home. I mean, they go to Boston. Now that I feel like the series, if it's 2-2 going into Boston, I think the series now, the Heat goes to the Celtics off the strength that now the Celtics got to win game 5, because if the Celtics lose game 5 and now they have to go to New York for an elimination game, I think all the heat is on them. But if they go into Boston and win game 5, all the heat is on the Knicks off the strength that the Knicks have now proven that just like the Celtics have proven, we can win on your home floor. And it's a lot different winning game 1 and game 2 on your home floor as opposed to winning game 5 or game 6 on your home floor in an elimination game. Those 2 things are way different. I don't think that we've given enough credit to Drew Holiday for the job that he's done on Jalen Brunson. You will look at the box score and you think Jalen Brunson is getting busy. Jalen Brunson has been boxed up relatively well for the course of this game, but he'll get busy in the last 3 or 4 minutes where he'll make some shots, and Jalen Brunson is awesome. Drew Holiday has done a great job in fighting around screens, done a great job in staying in front of him, making him make tough shots, making him take tough shots. If your diet is tough shots primarily, you are going to struggle. That's 100% what it is. With that being said, I think the difference in this game is if they could get a game like they got from in the NBA Finals, if they could get a game from Porzingis, I think that pushes them over the top. If they could get one of those games,
I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think it is neither. That's why
Porzingis.
I said
I mean, Porzingis has been struggling all playoffs. We're talking about a guy who left. I think it was game 2 in the second quarter because he was sick, and he was sick back in March. I don't know if it's the same thing that he was dealing with months ago, but that's clearly affecting him. He's probably Ron put up the players that have dropped the worst in the playoffs. Kristaps Porzingis has dropped terribly. This man's shooting 12% from 3, and he's a stretch 5. Again, and even still, I think we're going to win this series. Maybe we'll go to the finals if Indiana doesn't Who knows what Indiana's
doesn't what? Doesn't what?
I mean, they're up 3-1. They're up 3-1. We all know what I'm talking about. Like, I mean,
you
I didn't
said
think there
like
was
implode?
Ron, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think you get the glow about Indiana.
I'm not. I haven't said nothing about Indiana. I'm
gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. Okay. I am gonna say last year in the conference finals,
Pacers are cold, dog.
But it was an ugly sweep. But anyways,
I got the games right, Ron. When in that Cavs series, I did get the games right. I just got the wrong.
Oh, the 3-1, the 3-1.
Some people just don't know ball, man.
Yeah, I got the games right. I got the wrong.
80 to 39 was just.
I got to tell you,
I didn't watch the second half of that game. I seen Donovan Mitchell ain't come out. I was like, yeah.
Once Miles Turner made those back-to-back threes, I was just like, oh. And then Aaron Neesmith.
You see, he took the heat check too. Like he made one, then he took a step back, then he shot like a 34. I was like, yeah, okay. Yeah,
this is like Jokic against the Lakers in 23. Like I've never seen a big movement like that in a minute. But I mean, I'm not too confident that we're gonna.
Miles Turner about to get $40 million a year, and he's gonna suck next year. Watch.
As long as he get paid,
no, that's facts. No, I'm with it. 4-year, 120. No, but look,
that's
man,
$30 million a year.
That's yeah. But
I think the Celtics should still win this series. But do you think do the Knicks fold tonight?
I think.
Yeah, I don't think it's folding. I don't think it's folding to lose to the better team.
No, but the 3-point shooting won them the game this last time. But I'm saying, like, if it's a close game, I don't know, bro. What if they go down 3-1? I don't know, bro. I don't know.
If they go down 3-1,
then it will be the Celtics in 7.
No.
I know last season I came up, I had the Jaylen Brown background. You know what I'm saying? I was putting up for Jaylen Brown. He got it done. Finals MVP. This year I'm really pulling for OG Anunoby. So
who they've also boxed up. They boxed him up in these last couple of games.
Yeah. Well, last game.
Last couple of games. I apologize.
The Celtics defense has been good. It's been the offense that's been.
Well, that's the thing that I'm going to talk about. How sustainable is it, Swiper? Because I know that you're struggling with this.
They shot crazy.
I said this to Mars. That I came up here like the next day and I was a little bit. I was more emotional, and when I calmed down and started being more rational, like what team have we seen in the playoffs? Get thrown 20 in a hole 3 straight games and win? None. Ever? No team has done that. Ever. No team has
win those games or win the series.
Win the series.
Oh,
none.
The Nuggets had to do that versus the Clippers. I mean,
20.
It was bad. That series.
No.
I'll check.
But maybe it might have been like 18. It might have been like 18. So
if we get to 18, I'll give you the benefit.
Mars, how can you possibly check that?
I'm gonna have to go play by play and look at the score.
To get thrown in a hole in 3 games by 20. To get thrown in a hole in 3 games by 20 and come back and win the series? Nah, I haven't seen that in my lifetime.
But the thing is, still, if they go down 3-1, then they're going to
game 1. They lost by 23, so that's easy.
This team is not meant to battle an uphill. Let's check. Like I don't think they're built for that.
The Celtics.
No, I don't think that's. I think the only team in the league that I would. I mean, not with their current matchup with the Nuggets, but the only team in the league that I would trust in an uphill battle would be the OKC Thunder. Just not in the current matchup.
It's an uphill battle right now. They had to come back from down 2-0. You don't think?
No. Like it is an uphill battle to that point, but when you're down 3-1, I don't think Jason Tatum doesn't have this ability to stretch like a number of good playoff games to will his team back. He's not that guy.
We just saw y'all do it 2 years ago when y'all was down 3-0. We just saw that
against the Heat.
That wasn't.
That wasn't like solely because of Jason Tatum.
Derek
White. That was a different squad. So that was a different squad.
Yeah, Derek White went crazy.
Yeah. I mean, that was before we had
Porzingis. What was different? Okay?
Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis.
Right, Drew Holiday and Porzingis, who y'all have already told me. You already told me that you don't think that Porzingis can get it.
No, I don't think. I think Porzingis is going to be getting like 15 minutes.
Something's clearly wrong with him.
Yeah, he's not the.
Drew Holiday is better than Marcus Smart. So if
but Marcus Smart was really good in that series, though. He helped them win the series.
Drew Holiday's still better than him. He's doing a great job.
Not performing better. Remember, Marcus Smart
still a different team.
I don't think
Marcus Smart could do you think Marcus Smart could do the job on Jalen Brunson that Drew Holiday's doing on him?
Yeah,
Marcus Smart offensively got them back in that series.
I view Smart as one.
The gap is offensively. Drew is a better offensive player.
Yeah, I'm really high on Marcus Smart though. I think y'all know.
I am too. I just think Drew Holiday better than him. I
do too. I think Drew's better. I think Drew's better. I'm not trying to argue that.
I love Marcus Smart. I just think Drew Holiday's better than him. And to think about this crew right here, to see that team go down 3-0 with Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum is not the same player he was 2 years ago when they fell 3-0 in the hole. Jaylen Brown is not the same player that he was. And on top of that, to have Drew Holiday doing the job that he's doing, to have Drew Holiday doing the job on Jalen Brunson that he's doing, to have this collection, this band of guys, I also think that you guys are a lot deeper than you were back then too. So to fall 3-1 in the hole, to fall 3-1 in the hole against this Knicks team and prove that you could go into their building and win. They've proven that they can go into your building and win, but you've also proven that you could throw them. You've also proven that you could throw them in a 20-point hole, not once, not twice, but 3 times. Tells me that you can score on these guys. You can get whatever you want, whenever you want. And we all know that closeout game, that elimination game is everything. It is 100%.
What are you doing right now? You trying to turn Matty Ice into a delusional Boston fan? They're not coming back from 3-1. If them boys lose, if they lose today and go down 3-1, this shit is done. Over.
If you can come back, if you trying to sell being down 0-3,
don't buy that, Matty.
Okay.
Is all of this even worth it? Is all of this worth
maybe
these two teams?
I just think historically, when I'm looking at the type of players that these guys are and the way that they're playing right now, especially with like Porzingis is a spark, but he's not doing that right now. Porzingis, the way he's playing, Tatum, the way he's been playing these past 3 games, Jaylen Brown has been underwhelming for me for the entire season. I don't expect that to change right now. Like, I don't see them coming back from down 3-1. This team particularly. Maybe last year they could have.
They'll come back from down 3-1 if they go down. But the Nuggets were down 20 in one game and down 17 in 2 others. So
they have
average over 18.
They have Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray.
2020 Jokic.
But
but Jamal Murray averaging like 35. I mean, that's better than any version we ever saw of Jaylen Brown or even Jason Tatum in the playoffs.
Yo, Maddie, so you're saying tonight is like a must win?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, tonight's a game 7.
Yeah, I think it's a must win for the Knicks. Yeah, I think it's a must win.
I think it's a must win.
I think it's definitely a must win for the Knicks. It's a must win for both teams. I got faith in Jalen Brunson, y'all. I got faith in Jalen Brunson.
All of this discussion and all of this work to go and lose against Indiana in the next round is just crazy.
I want Indiana to go to the finals. That's what I'm rooting for out east.
Y'all think Indiana can beat either one of these teams?
I think they can beat the Knicks. I definitely think they can beat them.
No way. Besides the Warriors, Indiana is the weakest team.
Let Ron have his day. Okay.
I want the Pacers to go to the finals.
I don't got too much gloating to do. I've told you guys this. Chill, you almost jumped through the screen and knocked my mic through my head when I said I believe Indiana can play with all of these top tier teams, and it was specifically the Celtics.
When did you say this?
I said
after I said it, or
Swiper.
When Ron was orifying.
You just got here. Hey, Swiper, I've been here since last year. You just got here.
You picked the Bucks to win the series.
You know why I picked the Bucks to win the series? Because I knew you were going to do this today. You want to know why I did it?
You were influenced by your objective friend.
It's the same. It's the same reason why Jordan has been on your case for the last 2 weeks.
No,
because I stood with my team. I stood with the player who I think is the best in the world. Guy. Okay,
but you stood both.
Are you? Don't you root for Indiana? Don't you come up here and say, "Oh, I think Indiana is this. I think Indiana is that."
Indiana was a much better team.
Look. You didn't stand on your nuts for Jokic when against the Clippers. I'm getting to it.
But Indiana was a much better team, and I told you that going into the series, Giannis would have a great series. They can't guard him. They have never been able to guard Giannis yet. Giannis has not. They're not going to beat them.
Okay,
and I told you why.
I'm a Giannis.
You said Brook Lopez just as valuable as Al Horford.
And I'm a Giannis and Bucks guy. And I'm a Giannis and Bucks guy. And I stood with my squad. Okay. Against all adversity and rationale and logic, I stood with my boys. We got mopped up. So now guess what?
You're back to your other week. Your second.
You jumped ship.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, I got 2 ships.
Hey, welcome, Ron. Welcome.
You got a fleet. You got a fleet of ships.
Ron is for the streets.
I got a couple of
streets.
Me and Ron enjoy basketball more than all of you guys.
Thank you, Mars.
Me and Ron.
No, you just stand on business a lot less than the rest of us.
And that's why we enjoy the game more.
You got like 8 teams, Mars.
I've got 29 teams, all of them except Toronto. Like,
definitely.
I love all of them.
We already know that about
sure hater.
The draft lottery, I'm gonna celebrate every pick besides Toronto's. Like, that's where I'm gonna be at.
Don't worry, we're gonna end up at 8th anyway.
So is Hallie going to be sitting waiting for the Celtics and Knicks series to end at 7?
Yes. Yes,
bro.
No,
So you guys go
get one more.
Cavaliers.
I think the Caps can get one more.
Well,
No,
they're in.
Cavaliers
I think
are
those
done.
injuries cooked them. I think they got
What
beat
injuries?
yesterday. Garland's currently hurt. Evan Mobley's currently hurt. DeAndre Hunter's currently hurt. All 3 of them are injured. And
Explain their front court getting outplayed as badly as they got outplayed.
I remember very specifically somebody up here telling y'all. I remember very vividly that I said Miles Turner and Pascal Siakam could outplay them. I remember saying this, and I remember the pushback was, well, Evan Mobley, DPOY. I literally said all.
Who are you
I also said Obi Toppin is going to be good in that series. I said Jarrett Walker would be good in that series. I said TJ McConnell would be good in that series. I said Benny would cook.
Tell
Bro,
him Swiper.
70-year-old.
I did not give Indiana.
Chill. Did I not say that?
100%. You did. I did not give Indiana as much credit as I could have for their rotation guys. I just didn't. I was not aware that they were as good as they actually are. I didn't. And I think that they took Cleveland out of everything that they wanted to do yesterday. Everything that they wanted to do.
Soft,
I think.
and soft.
No, I don't think it had any. Well, they clearly weren't soft.
Cleveland was soft.
Well, they clearly weren't soft because the reason why I say that is because you just saw what DeAndre Hunter did. You saw what he did. I'm not going to get pushed.
Shoved the guy.
Yes, that's part of that. That's part of exerting your dominance. Like, wait a minute, you're not going to push me around. That's part of it. But I think that Indiana did everything to take Cleveland out of everything that they were doing. Their transition offense, which is with the transition defense, their box work, everything. They took them out of their long ball. They took them out of their half-court offense. They took them off the glass. Nothing that Cleveland was trying to do was working because I feel like Indiana took them out of everything that they were trying to do.
Chill. They were so. And again, I said this, and I'm glad that is coming true. Andrew Nembhard and Aaron Nesmith. My gosh.
Mm-hmm.
How many teams? You know, this is a pin question. Pin can answer this well. I'll throw this one live. Pin. How many teams got 2 POA defenders that can do as much as Andrew Nembhard and Aaron Nesmith? Bars, chill. Oklahoma City got it.
Oklahoma City got it.
Apparently, Denver has it with Russ and CB. So apparently, I didn't think it was possible. Chris Dunn and Kawhi.
Maybe, yeah.
And then in the Eastern Conference,
so Houston
Celtics.
I think the Knicks got
Houston, Ahmed Thompson, and Fred VanVleet, Torrey Easton.
I think the Knicks have it too.
Dylan.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Knicks, but chill. But I think the thing is, they're 6'5". They're guards.
Deuce McBride.
Yeah, they're guards.
Come on now.
And they can do everything. They're literally like Nesmith is taking Mobley. Nesmith is taking Jared Allen. Nesmith is taking Donovan Mitchell. Nesmith is taking Darius Garland.
Yeah.
Yo, his interchangeability.
How many players have a higher motor than Aaron Nesmith in the NBA?
None.
No, well, there's a few. I mean, they're a tier. There's a tier of motor.
10, 12.
I'm not gonna lie, that man Aaron Nesmith, it's like 100%.
He don't get tired, dog. He really don't.
Yeah, I said yesterday. I think the Pacers are the most well-conditioned team in the NBA. Like,
they
just outrun you every game. It's ridiculous.
You know, shout outs to Obi Toppin.
Standing on the
he was
shout out to Obi for real.
Like, I'm traumatized by his Knick days. I still have moments where I'm expecting him to do something crazy, and then he does that Dr. J little.
Hey, Penn, who would have thought that an elite athlete that was a high draft pick just needed to be reserved to a role player, and all of a sudden they're really good? You would have thought.
Is that what's next for Kuminga?
What system fit is everything. I agree.
Maybe, yeah. You know what? Yes. Maybe.
If I'm the Cavs, the only shred of optimism I can take is that if we don't blow game 2, it's 2-2. Basically, meaning with everything.
If your optimism is based on the past, you're already screwed.
Yeah, but that's that you gotta look at. You gotta look at it in terms of like we are down 3-1, but the hole isn't as insurmountable as it seems, based on the fact that we can compete with this team. We've shown we can compete with this team. We won a game. We should have won 2, but we ultimately let go of the rope, and that's a problem. We let go of the rope. But you gotta look at it as like, okay, we haven't been healthy this series, and if we handle our business, we're going into game 5 2-2. So we've shown we can beat this team. all we got to do is just beat them 3 straight times. That's all we got. That's what we got to look at. We got to beat them in game 5, then it's 3-2. Beat them in game 6, 3-3. Now you got to take it one step at a time, and you've shown like
Mars,
once again, if you're looking at optimistically, you've shown that you can beat them. Like that's how you got to go into.
If it were not for Johnny Furphy and James Johnson, this would have been a 50-point blowout.
That's amazing. Once again, you lose by 50, you lose by 1, you lost the game.
Yeah, it was like a 20-point game.
129 to 109 was not how
like I said, I never said if you're looking at it realistically. I never said if you're looking at it pessimistically. I said if you're the Cavs and you're looking at it optimistically, which means I'm looking at best case scenario for the Cavs. That's how they have to look at it. That
so this is what you're saying.
If we handle our controllables, we're going into this game 5 with all the injuries we've had 2-2. If we're looking at optimistically. Now, realistically, you guys blew game 2. That's on you. You don't get to look at game 2 optimistically. You also just got destroyed in game 4. And you had everyone out there for the first half and you got destroyed. So, like, obviously, realism and optimism are 2 different things. Optimistically, that's how you got to look at it. Otherwise, you're just going into game 5 saying, oh, the series is over, we lost. So you got to take the optimism and believe that you can do it. And that's how I think they have to go about it. That this should be a 2-2 series if the Cavs did their job. I think so they can beat this team.
I think Indiana has shown the Cleveland Cavaliers how bad and how hard they're going to have to play if they want to beat this team. I think, look, man, response is everything. Indiana got punched in the face in the last game at home. Tyrese Halliburton struggled
repeatedly, by the way, Penn, not just once, repeatedly.
And they looked outclassed. And there have been several times in this series where, you know, Cleveland's pulled up big and they've looked outclassed. And look, that series, that game 2 where Tyrese Halliburton, you know, sinks that 3, that to me is one team. We talked about it on the panel. That's a team that realized that you keep playing. And another team that showed their inexperience and their youth, frankly, and their immaturity to not keep playing. Yesterday, Indiana showed me something, not because they got up 20, not because they got up 30, but because even when they were up 30, 35 points, they were working harder than their opponent. They were out executing their opponent. They were out sprinting their opponent. They were out hustling their opponent. That to me is dog. That's what you need to win a championship. You need maturity.
It looks to me, you know, yesterday, Penn, to your point, it looked like they beat them into submission yesterday. Absolutely. More than anything. It looked like they beat the Cavs. It was an embarrassment. Yes, it looked like they just beat them into submission. I'm having a difficult time. I don't like to use the word quit, even though I don't think there's any shame in quitting. I don't. I ain't no shame in quitting. But with watching that yesterday, they got beat into submission.
When were they supposed to put their strength back up? It was 40. It was a 41-point lead at half.
At the half.
It's not like you were like not playing defense.
Yes.
At some point they were. They just got on rotation. Yes. Marsh, there were 4 seconds left in the shot clock. They did everything right. And then all of a sudden, Miles Turner, they double, Miles pop back out, pump fake, step, splash. Yes. And then the very next possession, Miles Turner crosses half court. No dribble. Pull up. Next possession. Aaron Neesmith, and Max Strus made the bucket. They're like, all right, cool. 39-point game. 39-point game. We got it. We're under 40. And next to Aaron Neesmith, fadeaway buzzer. It's like, bro, it's not our day.
Yeah. A big part of it was the Pacers couldn't miss. And I think there's something demoralizing about you constantly taking the ball out the net. And the Cavs just couldn't string together 2 stops.
Not at all.
So, like, they couldn't even begin to start a run because every possession was coming with them taking the ball out of bounds.
Right.
And their offense just fell apart. And I think, for me, hot shooting games happen. So I'm not, like, over-indexing on what the Pacers did offensively. But defensively is where it's like the ball pressure that they put on you is ridiculous. I don't think any team presses the ball as much as the Pacers do. I don't know if that's factually true, if there's stats that back it up. But like it's like every possession they're picking up full court. Whether that's TJ
they got
McConnell,
3 hounds. Go ahead.
Yeah, like TJ McConnell, Andrew Nemhard, Neesmith, like whoever, like they're picking up full court. And Garland being compromised, Ty Jerome just not being good. And I don't know what Donovan Mitchell was dealing with. I don't know if it's actually an injury or they just shut down the game.
Somebody told me from the Cleveland media yesterday that they thought it was like a horrific injury. They thought it was like, his family went to go back to like make sure he was good, but he didn't have a boot when he came out. So hopefully it's nothing, serious. Remember, it was a non-contact.
What was it? Yeah, I was about to say, what was it then?
He turned like literally, and then he went to go lift off his shot.
And he couldn't even do
it.
It
looked like, I'm not gonna say it, but it looked like something significant could have happened, and so he didn't have the ability to put any weight on it. Walked back to the locker room. His peoples went down and then went to go check on him, but then he didn't leave with the boot. So hopefully that's a good sign that it's not anything like
supposed to get an MRI
substantial.
It is unfortunate that, like, I think healthy or not, I think the Pacers were a legitimate threat in this series, and I think a lot of people undersold that, myself included. That even if the Cavs were healthy, it's very possible that the Pacers are still up 3-1 or is 2-2. Like, the Pacers are really good. Sure. But it is unfortunate that, like, the Cavs have just been destroyed by injuries in these playoffs. Like, they were a really good regular season team. And now I'm hearing, like, oh, they're the 2015 Hawks, or they're insert regular season.
Who went to the conference finals that year, by the way?
They did. It's unfortunate that, like, this team, if they, assuming they lose, which is looking probable, this season is just going to be remembered as like, oh, the Cavs were just that fraudulent 1 seed in the East in 2025. It's like, I feel that's unfortunate that that's how.
I just don't understand why we keep talking about the 2015 Hawks like they weren't. That was a damn good team. They ran into LeBron. They just ran into Cleveland. That was it.
Garland's
game five is tomorrow.
I don't know if it's every other day. I'll check.
I don't know.
Yeah, game 5 is tomorrow.
Game 5 is tomorrow, and Denver OKC is tomorrow as well.
So if Donovan Mitchell suits up tomorrow, he plays like. You know what I'm saying, I'm just want to know like, what's going on. Yeah, I don't think so. I think the series is over. But I just want, you know what I'm saying? I just want to know what is the injury to Donovan Mitchell? Is he hurt?
I don't know what it is. It said an ankle injury. I don't know what it is neither, Ox.
He's been dealing with it for a while, it seems so.
Look, all these other players. I just don't Garland's injured. Garland's injured. We got Evan Mobley coming off an injury. What's happening with Jared Allen though? How you have 2 points and 2 rebounds in 20 minutes?
Garbage.
5 out, man. I'm trying to tell. It's hard to play. It's hard to play 2 bigs against the Pacers. It's really hard to play 2 bigs. I didn't like that double big look in game 1, and I haven't liked it in any of the games they played. Like, you're extending your defense out so far. Like, you're rendering Jared Allen practically. I'm not going to say unplayable. Rendering him practically useless.
You could say that, Mars.
You could
100% say that, Mars. You could say
that. I got a question for y'all that ties in very, very well to the draft talk and stuff. I've heard a lot of teams be penciled in as this could be a Giannis destination. This could be a Giannis destination. What about the Cleveland Cavaliers as a Giannis destination? It's already used to playing in small market. They have a piece in Evan Mobley that would be very appealing to the Bucks if they're triggering a rebuild, and they have the requisite pieces around DeAndre Hunter, etc. They have plenty of depth, and Giannis could literally compete for championships as early as next year with Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland as the best, 2-3 that he's ever had. They would also get a bona fide superstar next to Donovan Mitchell, and I could argue that Donovan Mitchell plus Giannis would probably be the best 1-2 punch in the NBA.
Maybe depends on how they play together.
I like it. Them dudes get hurt. Them dudes get hurt in the playoffs and stop playing, man. Hell no, Giannis don't need to go over there. If you're injured, I understand, man. These dudes be tweaking their thumbs and one toe, and I can't play. Man, Giannis need to go. Man, you got 9 other fingers, Mars. Giannis need to go play with some dogs. Man.
Yeah, but Penn, to answer your question though, like I would prefer to keep Evan Mobley. And
trade Garland, trade Garland and
Jared Allen. Yeah. I would prefer to do that because I like Giannis's fit next to Garland or next to Evan Mobley, and this is kind of obvious more than I like it next to Jared Allen. But either way it goes, like that'd be a power move for Cleveland, and that'd be a power move for Giannis too.
I'm hearing the Spurs are circling.
Giannis gonna stay in Milwaukee, man. He loyal.
But all right, y'all, I got to get to these super chats. So speaking of what Mars is doing right now, I got a super chat from maybe his burner account. Maybe. It's called Troll XD 123.
When did I troll?
Maybe that's yours. I don't know. But Troll XD said, I may have been blind, but I never realized how much Joker complains and flops and moans at the calls and refs. It's embarrassing. As a 7-foot, 280-pound grown-ass man with a wife and kids and a family. Shame.
No. Mars would never misspell all those words.
Yay.
He's too educated.
Still,
Yeah,
regardless,
very
I've been trying to educate.
Jokic do be grifting. I say that.
I've been trying to tell y'all.
Like you have to.
He throw the ball up and then flop and fall on people. He do this shit all the time. He's been doing this shit for years.
Which is kind of crazy considering
you're just too big for that. You're too big for that shit.
Too big.
He definitely grifts. Like,
you have to learn. Yeah, it's just part of the league now. You have to learn how to do it.
And the whole league is embarrassing. It's not just him, but he's a part of it. And it's embarrassing to see somebody that's 7 feet tall, almost 300 pounds, out here flopping around like a fish out of water. It's despicable. It's disgusting.
You should only support players who don't flop, like Scotty Barnes.
There you have it. Hunter sent through a super chat and said, "Battle of the MVPs is going crazy. Aaron Gordon and Caruso, really the two best players in the league."
Shouts.
Facts.
Alex Caruso is so good.
They are certainly playing like the best players on their teams.
Off the bench.
Crazy.
He's so good.
Caruso?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he needs to go ahead and take a walk.
Minute per minute, though. Like per minute, though, Mars. Per minute. Alex Caruso is the best player on the OKC Thunder.
In the regular season, he played, what, 20 minutes a game? Shea played 34. So is Shea 14 minutes better than Caruso?
Yes.
Per
He's
minute.
35 minutes better than Caruso.
I'm talking about right now. I'm not talking about regular season, Mars. I'm talking about right now.
Well, right now, I think he's playing like 26 minutes in the playoffs.
26.
So, let me see. How many minutes is Caruso playing? The truth is he's still not better than Shea minute per minute. But Caruso's amazing. I don't know, like, what I mean. He's playing. Oh, he's only playing 21 minutes.
Come on.
How many minutes Shea playing? If Shea playing like 30
per minute,
he's playing 38, damn near, I think.
36.6 times. Yeah,
hell
no, it's
per
still,
minute.
it's still
Per
Shea.
minute.
But no,
Caruso
Do I bring up the law of diminishing returns again?
Caruso.
No, you don't have to. It's okay.
Okay.
All right, y'all. Shout out to our Hall of Famers. That is Vale, Multi Kenny, Teddy Hart, Cheese, Jason Grills, Minor, and Worldwide Mace TV. Hall of Fame Friday is coming up. Would love to see y'all up here. Also, I'm assuming we'll have some playbacks this week. Would love to see y'all pull up the playback, and I know for sure we're going to be there Friday if and only if the Celtics can push this to Game 6, because that's the only game on Friday. But all right, y'all, we got another super chat from Hunter. Hunter said, "Credit to both defenses for causing so much trouble for the opposing team's stars. I Heart and Chet making the paint hell for Jokic, and Chris Brown and Brody putting Shea in a straitjacket. Been very fun."
Hey, man, shout out that Nuggets defense. So shout out, man.
Shout out to Jalen Williams, too, because
2 of 13 yesterday? Or Jay Will.
Yeah.
Jay Will, yeah.
He's a because you guys know how I felt about Jalen Williams this season.
You thought he was unplayable in the playoffs.
This is a series for him, though. He played versus them in the
No, but
season.
even like the last 2 months of the season, like he's a lot better than he was to start the year. Like he's a lot better. Now, this is a favorable matchup. I'm acknowledging that fact. But Jalen Williams is a lot better now than he was even 4 or 5 months ago. So I want to give him a lot of credit.
Mars, look at his progression year over year from high school to college to now. You will see he grows like clockwork. By the time he's 30, he might be a league MVP.
I've seen him get them triple doubles when he
the
gets
real J-Dub. That's the real J-Dub.
And that's funny.
He's only 22. So.
The conversation was so heavy on Jokic and then Smalley on Shea that we just completely dismissed the fact that J-Dub was nowhere to be seen in game 4.
He had that good game 3 though, so he's allowed to.
Yeah.
Savion S said, "Chill, say it with me. Get Lou Dort off the floor." Also, Shea has to look in the mirror. He had 3 straight horrible possessions down the stretch. Denver just didn't capitalize. He has to move the pill.
Man, those damn free throws. They really should be up 3-1 right now. I cannot believe that they lost that game.
They should be down 3-1. What are you talking about?
Sure. So they when that run happened in the third quarter, I was like, all right, up 6. Just get a good little stay here at the top, and then just whatever.
Y'all lost as soon as Dagnall took Lou Dort off the floor. Swiper.
But they're winning the Caruso minutes by a lot. Yeah, so that's
Casey Wallace swung the game. That's where we started this conversation. That's where it should end.
Wiggins, Casey Wallace, Caruso.
DSG Piccolo said, "Swiper, is it fair to say that if Shea plays well, y'all will be at home right now? Also, the best team for flag outside of Houston is Portland, but the league will need 1 through 16 playoff. But the league will need 1 through 16 playoffs soon if it happens.
Yeah, facts. I'm rooting for the Rockets or the Blazers to get.
Well, they wouldn't have won. They wouldn't have won game
Best
one.
team for flag is Washington.
No, we good. Portland or
I actually like him in
I
Washington.
mean, it's the Spurs.
yeah, I like him in Washington too. But Portland or Houston are the two best teams for sure. Easy.
Please, not Portland. Anything but Portland.
Actually, anything but Utah.
Donovan Clingan and Cooper Flag.
Donovan Clingan, Denny,
Swipe it.
Tamani, and Koo.
Well, Swipe,
Shaden
I
and
explained. I explained this a couple of days ago, Swipe. But you know, it's about time to start getting those, you know, season packages, you know, quarter season, half season, whatever, full season, whatever, for the tickets. And if they get that number one pick, those ticket prices are going up. And I'm not prepared. The way my bank account is set up, I'm not prepared.
yet.
You got a checking and a savings.
I'm not prepared to make that purchase until
them East anyway.
until the end of the season. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the end of the season, the end of the month. You know what I'm saying? I'm not prepared to make that purchase until the end of the month. But as y'all know, the lottery's tomorrow, so it's like, please.
You all know Charlotte's winning the draft lottery.
Mello and Coop, let's go.
Better not.
Brandon Miller and Coop.
Charlotte's gonna win it.
Masinko said the guy who said MPJ is better than SGA isn't allowing people to change their opinion? ? Am I getting this right?
They're referencing a 2021 tweet in which I said he will be better. This was, I think, right before the injury to his. Right before the back injury. I think that might have been the summer after he came off the 2021 year in which he was like he went crazy without Jamal Murray. Well, yeah, I mean it's 4 years later. It was wrong.
It was wrong at the time, but you know.
I mean, MPJ was really good before that third back surgery. Bro. I'm not gonna. I missed those things.
Absolutely, it was amazing.
Hunter with the super chat said, y'all better not let SGA and his own terrorism off the hook. Did we let him off the hook?
We didn't
get it.
No, we didn't. We did not.
Really bad decisions. He settled for some really stupid shots.
Yeah, the basketball.
He's having a lot of issues.
Unlimited Z said Shea getting clamped by a Jokic-led defense while Kobe going against all-time defenses and the defensive players. But
Phoenix had an elite defense.
The New Jersey Nets had an
elite defender.
Kobe scored.
And Sean Marion.
And Sean Marion.
I do think the further you remove yourself from like these series and situations, I think people just forget the bad games. Like Kobe had bad games. LeBron had bad games. Kevin Durant had bad games. Shaq had bad games. Had bad games. They even had bad series from time to time. Sometimes they won them, sometimes they lost. It's just
sometimes in the finals, Mars.
Yeah, sometimes those ones get remembered more just because they're in the finals. But like,
and we got to. For
the most part, like people have bad games. Like
you
bring it, like if I come up here and I bring up, hey, you know, 2018 LeBron wasn't great in every game in the playoffs. Someone will be like, oh, you're hating. Like,
no, he wasn't.
Even 2018 LeBron. Even 2018 LeBron had bad games in the playoffs. Like, it happens. Like,
everybody does. Everybody does.
You know that Indiana Pacers series went 7 games. If he was
if I remember correctly, 3 of them were mid for LeBron. 3 of those games.
Yeah, he wasn't awesome in all 7 of them games.
I remember, and anyone can go fact check me. After that game 4 against the Raptors, in which they swept them, that game 1 against Boston, LeBron was terrible, and the Cavs got blown out. LeBron was terrible. But it doesn't matter now. Like, we remember the series. He dominated the series. His game 7 in that series was amazing. And LeBron, rightfully so, was praised as the best player in the world, and he was the best player in the playoffs.
And take it a step further than that, Mars. After that game 1 of the NBA Finals, garbage. He was not good.
I'll take it a step further than that, though, Chill. If you put this OKC team against that 2004 Pistons team,
what's the score? 68-63.
I'll say 70.
I'm just saying because we want to talk about finals letdowns from Kobe Bryant. I'm just saying, like, you put
that was horrible.
Let them dudes loose on SGA and see what happens.
Yeah,
with 2004 rules.
You know those puppies you see, and they have those really huge paws, and your girlfriend's like, "Yo, we should adopt this puppy," and you're like, "Do you see those paws? They're really big paws. You can't adopt this damn puppy. It's gonna be bigger than the house.
Dog gonna be huge."
Yeah, that OKC team that's 24 years old right now. At some point, they will grow to 26, 27. If they keep this core together,
maybe
they got big paws.
And whatever records they set this year,
they're fully capable,
Maybe.
if
The
not
league will
more
be
capable.
different.
You remember those kids in the 7th grade? Hey, you was playing those kids in 7th grade, and you were like
huge,
5'7", and they were 5'11", and then you get to junior year in high school, and you're 6'4", and they're 5'11".
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Those dudes that just stop growing in the 7th grade.
Are you saying
you got an analogy?
We don't know.
One too.
We have no idea.
I
We can't
think
predict that far in
I
the
think
future.
Ox is saying this Oklahoma City team. That's what they are.
No. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying we've seen both. We've seen pups with big paws turn into monsters, and we've seen real big kids that were huge when they were 11 be little when they're 18.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Shout out all the big kids and the puppies with big paws, and also shout out to Bino.
And you can't say which one they're going to be. You have no idea.
Bino's been a member.
Games. We have an idea of what they're going to be.
Also, they do have.
Bino's been a member for 22 months. He said, "Ox is speaking facts. Y'all are so dramatic." LOL.
Was that about the Lou Dort?
So damn dramatic. That was Penn, and then he dragged Chiller to it. They was up here being dramatic as hell. Couldn't even believe it.
Shout out to Skip.
Just because I told the truth, Chill. I was with you yesterday. We watched the game. We seen what happened.
Yeah, we did.
Shout out to Skip Payless. Shout out to Eastside General, and shout out Arch. Arch sent through a members chat and said, "Let's get nasty, people. Agenda pushing to the fullest."
1L.
I don't think I pushed any agenda today. I think I just spoke about.
You ran out of characters, man. Don't. Arch knows how to spell.
Yeah.
Jordan sent through a super chat and said, "Nikola Jokic MVP Tour 2025. June 14th, Los Angeles.
That's fine.
June 16th, OKC. July 22nd, Shanghai. August 25th, North Korea."
I thought those were Kobe shooting dates. My fault. That's right. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Kobe had him too, but that's funny. I like that.
The Kid Leaf Dig sent through a members chat and said, "The NBA got one job tonight. Give me my top 3 pick."
I ain't gonna do nothing with it, Leaf. Y'all know what to do with that.
I can't wait for that tonight too.
But you gonna buy that money you can chew, man. That ain't
7 o'clock.
Antoine El Host Ron said, "The Great White Hope going to the Capitol would be a perfect narrative. Would literally be Captain America. Let Wiz get the first pick, not some."
Wait, I got a phrase. So when Cooper Flag in Washington, great run, Chill. 10-5 run. Cooper has 2 blocks, makes 2 threes. He's storming the Capitol. Wow, look at Cooper Flag. Norman.
That's fire. That's fine.
Football Breakdown said Jokic passing is super dependent on defensive breakdowns. Dude picks up his dribble near the 3 and waits for cutters. If they get cut off, DHO to Murray. LOL.
I mean, yeah, creating advantages is a part of your
job.
Yeah,
most passing angles are opened up by either defensive breakdowns or just capitalizing on gaps in the defense. That's how passing usually works.
Triclops said, "Do y'all think Wiggins should play more? I think he provides really good scoring, especially when there's a drought. Also, a solid, versatile defender."
That's what rotation players do. They come in when things aren't good. That's exactly what he does.
I don't necessarily agree with the defense part, but yeah, offensively, he's probably their best bench player.
Isaiah Joe needs to be better too. I think there's a lot of
Pin, dude. Odds wise, do we got any action at number 1?
Yeah, you actually do.
You got like a point.
Hey, Ox, let me come up here tomorrow and the Sacramento Kings got the number 1 pick in the draft. Let me come up here tomorrow and the Kings got the number 1 pick in the draft.
Hey, you know what the crazy thing is? We won't even take Cooper.
Yeah, you draw someone else.
Hey,
you draft Marvin Bagley again.
For a top 3 pick, y'all got like 3%. I was gonna send that to the group over this weekend. Y'all got a little action.
3% ain't too bad.
It's not too bad at all. That's a top 3 pick though. That's not 1, 2,
3%.
Oh shit.
Sassarino said, "Why does Chill think Magic is better than Steph when the gap in their scoring is much smaller than the gap in their playmaking? Neither playing much D."
Wait, that would make sense.
That would make that makes the point better for Magic.
I think he means the other way.
I think he meant to say the gap in scoring is bigger than the playmaking. I think because otherwise that makes the Magic point.
So,
but Magic is the low hanging fruit. I use that point every time. So.
Y'all have a 0.8% chance at Cooper Flag, and you have a 3.8% chance at a top 4 pick.
Top 4.
Okay. Thanks. Not bad. That's not bad.
In the words of Dumb and Dumber, so you're saying there's a chance.
Right. There's definitely a chance.
Okay.
We got action.
We got action.
Take them ones. That's like a Mitchell Robinson free throw.
The baller shot caller 1999 said they press the ball and attack right away. It's fun to watch.
You talking about Pacers? I agree.
It was.
Shout out the Pacers. Nico said, besides Giannis, the top 5 are really struggling in the playoffs, or struggling right now in the playoffs. I wonder why.
Offensively, yeah, I think defenses are in the playoffs this year have been.
But if we're going off, I don't think Luka struggled offensively in the playoffs.
And he struggles defensively anyway.
Well, the playmaking.
Yeah, he struggles defensively.
The scoring.
I don't think he struggled as a playmaker. I think the Timberwolves just actively took away that part of his game.
Well, I'm saying that's part of the function. I think OKC is doing similar.
It was skill dependent, but he was able to make shots and all of those things. And and I think Giannis was great, but I also think
I think the Pacers are the worst equipped team to deal with Giannis of all time. That they can't do anything with him whatsoever.
I would be interested to see like Giannis against like an OKC team. I think that's one thing that gets missed in the playoffs. Is like it's a lot about matchups. Like someone could play better in a series than someone else, but if you're playing the Pacers and I'm playing OKC, like you're playing better than me, but you're also playing against the defense that's probably less suited to guard you. But then the flip side is, are there just less defenses that are catered to guard Giannis than there is for Jokic? Maybe. I don't know.
I don't think the Boston Celtics could have stopped Jokic last year in the finals, and I really do believe that if Jokic and the Denver Nuggets had gotten through Minnesota, I really do believe we'd be talking about a 3-peat potentially right now. So yeah.
And can we please, if they win the series, Mars, they can take a breath of fresh air, and now Jokic can play Rudy Gobert. I mean, well, Zoo, OKC, and then it's Rudy. And it's like, all right, thank goodness. Like, take a break, take a breather, chill. And it's Julius Randle. It's like, oh my God.
Who's been one of the main reasons why they've been winning, by the way.
Julius
Randle. But that's better. That's better than Zoo and Kawhi and then Chet Hart, Dort, Caruso. And take a break. You know what I mean? God, Anthony Edwards let him back down easy. No pushback.
We're dispelling the Julius Foulius logic.
Because his eyes gonna go like this when he sees Rudy. Like all that fake nonsense going away. He's just
Swiper, but that's not good for basketball. Swiper. What's good for basketball is SGA versus Ant and Brunson versus Halliburton. That's what's good for basketball. What?
Who wants to see that?
That's just good for basketball. We get dynamic guards. That's gonna get the young kids involved. It's gonna make a lot.
I want to see Steph go against the Pacers in the finals.
Russell Westbrook, not dynamic for you.
Battle of the 2 best point guards in the league.
No, I'm just talking about the youngsters. You know, the youngsters that still got 7, 8 plus. You know, obviously, hopefully more than that. You know what I'm saying? The people got a lot of games left. I'm thinking about the youth. I'm thinking about the kids that are between 8 and 14. You know, get them excited to watch some basketball. You know what I mean? I'm just looking to the future. I think it's good for the NBA if we could get those conference finals.
You don't care about the chubby kids who look up to Jokic, gives them a hope. I can be fat.
Them chubby kids don't need to be sitting down watching all damn basketball. They need to be outside playing some basketball.
Get your ass outside.
Get your big ass up off.
Go your ass outside.
Look, unless it's genetic, unless it's a sickness or a genetic type thing, nothing makes me more mad than fat kids, man. That shit is infuriating.
My ex chick, she had a real problem with.
You in the wrong country.
Real problem, Ox. She did.
I'm not in the wrong country. I'm an American.
Y'all, not only are y'all 43% of your population, y'all fat kids shaming.
My kids ain't fat. You know what I'm saying?
She had a real problem with that.
I can't control what everybody else do with their kids, and I'm not trying to disrespect anybody. I'm not trying to disrespect any children either. I love all the kids. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, unless yes, I love all the kids. Don't get me wrong. I hope it didn't come out like that, y'all. So I'm sorry if it did, but do have it.
I was basically saying, why you fat? I love you, but why you fat? You 12.
Hey, Chad,
like, no, not even them. It's like to your parents. Like, what are y'all doing? Why y'all letting y'all kids do? That's not healthy. You know what I'm saying?
You're 7.
All right, Sean. Daniel Mason sent through a super chat and said 3 years ago, episode 49, Giannis dropped 40 and 20 and got killed. And y'all were saying he wasn't even a top 4 player. The energy just seems different.
Pulling up receipts.
3 years ago, what's that? 2022?
Yes,
I wasn't here.
After they won the NBA championship, I know I ain't seen nothing about that.
Is he talking about Game 6 against Boston?
Yeah, when he went 40 and 20.
That was the conversation? No, I don't remember. I believe it. for the sake
I
of
know
the
I
argument.
was up here
believe it.
fighting tooth and nail.
I don't remember that.
I don't either, but I just know I was fighting. Malik
I
Stevenson.
didn't have time for then. I was, you know what I'm saying? I was going through some Kawhi issues back in those days.
Malik Stevenson said, y'all would say Aaron Gordon saved Jokic off 2 clutch shots, but would never say Kyrie saved Bron doing the same thing.
3 clutch shots.
Cook, Malik.
First of all, 3 clutch shots. And second of all, I said that this season it almost got kicked off the panel. Talking about that.
Yeah, it's weird. Like I hear a lot like people like say things and they try to have like these gotcha moments. It's like more often than not, the panel have said the exact thing that you're saying they've never said. Like it's pretty consistent with like how those things go. But you know.
Facts.
DSG,
and we said Ray saved Brown too. That's a fact.
DSG Piccolo said, fuck out of here. We cannot let them plant a flag in the nation's capital. Definitely can't let him rot in Utah for sure. Adam Silver knows what he needs to do.
He knows.
Send him to Toronto.
He knows. He's gonna be the Rocket.
Then they'll really storm the Capitol.
Black Moon Swordsman said, I like you, Penn. You too, Swiper. Why do you underrate Kobe so much? Even saying Dirk was better was crazy to me. 2006 was blatantly Kobe's year.
Kobe's awesome.
Objectively,
subjectively, whatever. He's amazing. Kobe's amazing. I just don't. I realized that 2002, 2003, there were a lot of people who were making comparisons to Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, and Grant Hill 95, 96. There were a lot of people making those same comparisons, and I don't think the energy is any different to put Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Kobe conversations. I think it's a 1-to-1 equation, and I actually think my point is better. That's all I'm saying. It's not hating on Kobe.
The Baller Shot Caller 1999 said, I mean, obviously, OKC is going to focus on Jokic when the only true floor spacer the Nuggets have is MPJ.
I mean, at some point, Aaron Gordon has to be considered a floor spacer. Like, I'm sorry. We're getting to a point where that man just doesn't miss.
43, he's shooting 54 in the series.
In the series, yes, but on the season, he's shooting 40.
Yeah, we're getting to a point where I was saying the Aaron Gordon stuff was like...
Lester's not a floor spacer?
Oh, I didn't even factor him in, but shout out to Aaron Gordon, man. I ain't seen something like this.
They have plenty of floor spacing in Denver.
Nothing But Net became a YouTube member. Shout out to Nothing But Net. And shout out to Kaz. Kaz said, if it happened, ... would a Giannis Wemby front court be the best ever? The only other I can think of in the same tier or better is Robinson and Duncan.
Parrish and McHale did not exist. The fuck? Am I losing my mind?
Guess not, chill. Guess not.
Damn. What the fuck is going on?
I just know I want to see it happen. I would love to become a Spurs fan at the start of next season. We'll just have to see. Hey, Morris, I'm gonna hit you afterwards. Let me know good areas to move in the Houston area. Thank you.
You can have my old place because Blazers.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. For sure. Yeah. Let's do that.
Coming to Portland, Morris. I'll show you the city. I'll take you out on the town.
All right, Morris. I'm gonna have you up till 4 a.m. It's gonna be a good time though, but you might not make the panel. But the Baller Shot Caller 1999 said, Ox, who on Denver is gonna shoot threes though? The Thunder leave almost everyone open.
Wait a second. They leave everyone open and you got an issue? What are you saying? Like, we won't have a problem finding somebody to shoot threes. You know what I'm saying? Like, anybody that's a better shooter than Jokic, okay? Simple question. Simple answer, I mean.
Brandon Johnson said, Thunder fan here in Oklahoma. I'm biased to SGA, but I could not put SGA close to Kobe yet. He needs to win at least one championship first.
He needs to just get better at basketball.
Damn the championships. I wouldn't give a shit if Kobe had 0 championships. As far as basketball players go. No, I wouldn't, because you know why? How many championships does Tracy McGrady have?
0.
Don't ever talk for me. Don't ever talk for me.
Damn.
He made the finals that one time in 2013.
He can't talk to you? Can he text you?
No, he can talk. Just don't ever speak for me.
Oh, got you. Okay. The Baller Shot Caller 1999 said, could SGA do the same thing he does right now with the floor spacing the early 2000s had?
Well, they're guarding him as if it is early 2000 spacing. So,
Exactly.
But you're seeing the effects of it.
So now add big guys in the paint like they have. It's going to be a lot more difficult than what it is now. A lot more.
I think people are starting to, it's particularly the 2000s, I think people are starting to forgive the lower field goal percentages of that era and maybe give some of those players a bit more leeway than they have in the past. I think that's probably what's going to happen.
The Trib One said Jokic is a bad shooter and he's not in best offensive players of all time convos. To be honest, they should just trade Jokic for dominating and get some more rim deterrents.
Somebody's trolling.
Spending that much money to troll is crazy.
Hey, if you want to get a good troll off, get a good troll off. I respect it.
Pin, you just got a good troll off last night. It's clipped. I seen it on Twitter. I reposted it
for free.
Wasn't a troll. Don't speak for me, Ox.
I'm not speaking for you. I'm speaking for myself. You spoke for yourself. I'm saying that it was.
You said I was trolling. I wasn't trolling. I was being damn serious.
I'm speaking for you. You're trolling. Stop trolling.
Later, fellas. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Peace.
All right, too. But with that being said, though, touche. Touche.
The Baller Shot Caller 1999 said, Pin, but who does get you? You say they are the best team in the league, and then you say he doesn't have help. Who gets you, Pin?
Are we talking about OKC? Yeah, they are the best team in the league, and they're a team, but they're a best team because of their defense. They're a great defensive team. They blew teams out of the water. That doesn't mean that they're the most experienced. It doesn't mean they're the most offensively talented. There are teams that have more offensive talent than this team, for sure.
I have a special super chat from Yap Squad. Yap Squad said, seems like Jokic resorting to threes because the Thunder got the rest of the Nuggets locked up. Jokic shooting bad, but credit to the Thunder D too.
Yeah. I think I picked OKC to win this series. I'm standing on that. I feel very uncomfortable about it, though. I do believe that it's impossible for me to imagine that Jokic is going to play this badly for the rest of the series. And he's figuring them out slowly. And it's just like the playoffs are a game of adjustments. You know, they saw how they guarded Jokic. Didn't work. They came back game 2. They adjusted. So at this point, it's like, what happens when Jokic adjusts? Because if he adjusts and if the Denver Nuggets adjust, I feel like I really do believe they can win 2 more games in this.
El Sombra Regio 7 became a YouTube member. Shout out to El Sombra. Appreciate you for joining up. Most Neff sent through a super chat and said, Swiper, what level of gravity does Jokic have beyond 18 feet? How doesn't it compare to the other GOAT candidates, Bron, Steph, MJ, etc.?
Well, Steph's gravity kind of exceeds all of them beyond 18 feet. But Jokic is a weird one because a lot of his gravity that far out comes from his screening, not his actual scoring type. So, I don't know. It's different.
I mean, there's a lot of things you lose with Jokic. He's somewhat slow, plodding. He doesn't present a vertical lob threat at the rim for a guy like Jamal Murray. You can always take pieces and bits of someone's game and just add it to another player, make them better. I'm sure Michael Jordan would be a lot better if he was a better outside shooter. I'm sure, Kobe would be better if he was a better passer. Like, there's a lot of things that you could add. And I do think that teams live with Jokic jumpers because it's so much better than letting him cook in the paint.
We got a new YouTube member by the name of 2900 GBE 4PF. Shout out to our new YouTube member. And then the Baller Shot Caller sent through another super chat and said, Penn has them, I know you are, but what am I? Type ass comebacks.
Sure do.
I think that's
an entire Rolodex of them.
Yo, those are fire.
Yeah, I think those.
And when those don't work, your mama's fat.
Oh, good damn.
Well, at least it's better than your children are fat. Come on, Ox.
Wait a second. Wait a fucking second. All I was gonna say is whatever happened to the good, I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off me, it sticks to you.
Shit, we retired that. We retired that shit in grade 3.
Oh shit.
Hey, yesterday was Mother's Day. Shout out to all the fat moms, and tomorrow's Children's Day, so shout out to all the fat kids too. El Sombra Regio 7 said complaining about fouls when Denver has won 3 of the 4 games, free throw differential, and is a plus 15 for the series thus far is wild. Make your free throws.
I love how people think free throw differential just means that the refs don't do anything. Like, the refs can still be if OKC fouls 60 times and Denver shoots 30 free throws, and Denver foul 30 times and OKC shoot 25 free throws, Denver got more free throws, but that means the refs were still more against them or got more calls wrong against them. Like, free throw differential doesn't prove that you're getting favored or disadvantaged by the refs, especially if one team's clearly fouling them.
Sim West 34 became a YouTube member. Shout out to Sim West. And Nico sent through another super chat and said, today it showed me why, from a narrative perspective, it's been better for your legacy to get sent home in the first round than losing further down. Y'all agree with this?
The absence of evidence and samples benefits a lot of people. That's why, like, you hear a lot of people like these what if players get a lot more grace and leeway because you never got to see the failures. So you can just envision anything. You can manufacture any storyline you want because you can't. There's no evidence to disprove it. The more games you play, the larger the sample is, the less hypotheticals exist. That's just how it goes.
I just think people should stop getting so upset about narratives and things like that. Who really cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, just talking a little shit.
Love Fadina said, chill. Tatum can't be in best in the world talks when he's inefficient as fuck. With unlimited spacing. I don't know why you don't get this.
Ron, he said as F. Like, there's fat kids watching this, Ron.
Limited as fat?
Possibly. You don't want to put words in it.
Right. My bad.
Come on,
leave them fat kids alone, man.
Right, so leave us alone, man. Oh, damn.
Yo, Ron, you got to do better, bro.
The trib won. Look, Oxton, fat kids need. It's time to be in school. What the hell they doing on their mama's couch playing hooky, eating all the goddamn snacks.
Bro, come on, bro.
Skipping school because they got to do. Because they supposed to do the litmus test today in gym.
What they doing the ones the timer thing, the beep.
Yeah, the little beep thing. Yeah.
Those used to be fun. Or
it might be mild day. You never know, but
they let kids walk them all now, so that's not a big deal.
For real? Oh, nice.
Yeah, you can walk. You could come in 15 minutes and you still pass PE, so ain't no big deal.
The Trib one said, so we had a weird Lou Dort convo for 15 to 20 minutes. Then had an hour convo about Jokic being not in the best offensive players all time convo.
Hey man, that's the topic list Ron sent me, so that's what we went with.
I still think Jokic is.
My bad, y'all. I didn't mean to make Lou Dort the main topic of the show or the opening topic. Hey, it was a good topic, right? I had a good time.
Yeah,
you said pin the topic list and said me the topic list. I'm coming here. I'm flying blind.
You ain't pinned.
You got that bag. Yeah, you can freelance. You can improvise.
This is crazy.
I need the assist. I get it.
Exactly.
Well, no, Pin. I'm actually drawing up plays for you because, well, you're SGA. Ox is Lou Dort. You don't see the same defenses, Ox. Kirkland Barnes said Jokic is still playing the best on his team. He's just seeing elite defense from OKC. Plus, he's tired, playing all game, breathing heavy. OKC got him.
See, but this has been the problem all year. See, now don't get me wrong. Jokic is an amazing basketball player. A lot of these stats and stuff, though, do get inflated because everything has to go through him, when, in fact, everything doesn't need to go through him. He has good enough teammates where they can play more of a team style instead of making sure that Jokic is the one to throw the assist, or Jokic is the one to shoot it, or Jokic gets the rebound. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the design that he has his fingerprints on everything, when, in fact, it doesn't need to be that way. Now that this is happening in the playoffs, they're limiting that. And it's like, well, we're so used to making sure that everything has to go through Jokic, then now it's hurting you.
He's their best decision maker. He's their best scorer. That's why
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's just not how basketball works. The best passer doesn't always have to be the one to pass to get the assist. The best shooter isn't the one that always has to shoot the ball. Lou Dort proved that to you. You know what I'm saying? Other people can do things.
This is why I don't get your tangents. Like, it's not like Jamal Murray doesn't get assists. It's not like Aaron Gordon.
I don't get him either, Pin.
Well, I didn't say he does. I didn't say that either, Pin. You know?
So you're arguing that he does everything, and I'm telling you he does a lot. But he does a lot because he's better at everything than his teammates.
Okay, keep all right. I'll say what I said. I'll say what I said. If Penn doesn't understand basketball, that's on him. You should, you know what I'm saying?
L me not understanding basketball.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. L you for not understanding basketball.
I'm young.
You should understand basketball better.
I'll get there in 10 years.
Penn, you cooked.
I don't know. You're gonna need more time than that.
I don't play back. You'd have cooked them all day. It's been like 5 hours in the last 24 hours of you cooking ox. Just Penn.
I grew up on this shit.
Hey, he can't take no more, Penn. You'd have beat him to a pulp.
I didn't even know what basketball was until I was like 25. Come on, man.
Please stop. Throw in the towel. I'm throwing in the towel. Leave me alone.
Mitch Cole said, I was so close to spreading my agenda of Ant not being a playoff riser, but just the greatest first round player or round one player we've ever seen. I'll be back to spread it if the Warriors somehow win.
Yeah, they're not winning.
Yeah, I wouldn't put much money on the Warriors.
I mean, shit, it might be, it might be worth it though. If you got a couple extra dollars, you know what I'm saying? If it's not gonna hurt your pockets, do that.
Odds are good, yeah. Why not?
Come on, Steph. Come on back for game 5. Warriors.
Oh, hell no.
The Trib One said if Giannis or Jokic had OKC's or the Celtics roster, we wouldn't really think twice about it being one. We wouldn't really think twice about it being one of those two winning.
I'm just sick of y'all trying to act like the Nuggets don't have a good basketball team, bro. I'm really tired of that shit. Really tired of it.
Ray Star became a YouTube member. Shout out to Ray Star. Shout out to our Hall of Famers. And shout out to everybody that's turned on their notification bells. SimWest34 also sent through a members chat and said, can someone give me the last bad series from GA34? Huh? Anybody?
I mean, does losing anybody imply a bad series?
It implies you lost.
No, playing bad implies a bad series.
I don't know why he has to do everything for his team, you know? I mean, why does he have to grab all those rebounds and hold the ball so much and dribble and take so many shots? I mean, why doesn't he let his teammates do some stuff? I mean, he's got Damian Lillard. He's got Gary Trent Jr. Where
was Damian Lillard?
He did not have Dame, in fact.
I mean, he got injured.
And since when is Gary Trent better than Jamal Murray? Since when is Kuz better than MPJ? Since when is Bobby Porter or Brooke Lopez better than Aaron Gordon? Stop with this shit, bro.
Since when is Andre Jackson better than
you don't got to be so thirsty to try to cook me to say any old thing, bro. Like,
I'm just saying.
When is Doc Rivers better than
Giannis? I'm just up here talking all, bro. Like
every year.
I didn't come up here looking to beef with you, Pin. I didn't know you was gonna be here. This wasn't an agenda of mine, bro. Leave me alone, bro.
You want me to stop bullying you? What are you crying victim for? You want to cook Jokic on something? I'm telling you, the same logic holds true for Giannis.
It doesn't though. It doesn't. They're different. He has different teams. Jokic has a really good basketball team, but y'all let Swiper convince y'all
what
that
the hell is Chris Middleton? Y'all
let Swiper convince y'all that these players were unplayable, and it's just not.
I'm not stupid.
They got good basketball.
I push back on that back then too. I know these players aren't unplayable.
Okay, so don't act like Kuz and MPJ are the same person. Don't act like Brooke and AG are the same person. Don't act like Gary Trent and Jamal Murray are the same person.
Giannis been like 37-38% usage for like 4 years. He's had really good teammates throughout that span.
Right. You're right. You are right about that. You're right about that.
Capo sent through a members chat. Capo said, when the Timberwolves get a real starting level point guard that can make more than 3 shots a game, we win in multiple championships. Jaden McDaniels, the GOAT.
Isn't that what Rob Dillingham's meant to be going forward?
Let's go, Rob Dill.
Jury's still out.
Yo, what's y'all think? You think so, Morris? Or you just?
I think that's what the plan is. I don't know. Like, he's obviously got to get stronger physically. Defensively, he competes, but just very limited. So if anyone you can learn from who can deal with his limitations, I mean, Mike Conley is like kind of like the perfect example. So I think that's what they're grooming feels like the wrong word, but I can't think of another word. I feel like that's what they're
the right word.
I feel like that's what they're trying to turn him into, develop him into, just someone who can be passable on defense and then be that secondary ball handler, playmaker, decision maker, scorer. I don't know how many years away he is from that. Maybe it's next year, maybe it's 2 years. I don't know. It all comes down to his physical maturation, but I think that's the plan.
He might skinny ass boy out there running around looking like Ron.
Yeah, he's at 6.
He might be the last 6 foot guard picked in the lottery of our lifetime. I mean, there might be like some generational prospect that comes up in a few years, but I don't see it. Not this year. Not next year.
How long do you plan on living? Like 4 years?
Come on.
That's why Chill had me tight talking about, oh, we're gonna be seeing a bunch of Victor Wembanyama.
If Trae Young was in the draft this year, he's a lottery pick, right?
If Trae Young,
yeah, coming out.
Yes, Mars. Yes, the answer is yes, Mars.
Yeah, he'd be a late lottery pick.
Yeah, so
Trae would not be a late lottery
pick. Yeah, late lottery pick.
As long as he's in the lottery, it doesn't matter.
First of all,
point being, I think there will be enough.
Well, I'm just telling you as someone who's looking at the next 3 draft cycles, there isn't a prospect that looks like 6 feet tall
You said lifetime though, not 3 years. That's the issue.
Right, I did.
Unless you only plan on living 3 years, then
on top of that, y'all don't have no idea y'all have no idea who's gonna pop up in the next 3 years. You have no idea who's gonna pop up. These kids.
People are also getting taller. Ox. That matters.
By how? So what are they getting taller? Like so? Or what on average is the average person 4 inches taller than they were 3 years ago? No,
you don't have to be 4 inches taller to not.
This evolution thing that y'all keep trying to say, bro, that shit is like takes a long time. Man,
like we go through phases and cycles where there was a time when you always picked guys who were 7'1". There's guys that are going in the second round in this year's draft that would have been top 10 picks 15 years ago based on league trends. At some point, your 6 foot guard has to guard players who are 6'5". Look at the point guard position across the league. Mike Conley is small. Chris Paul is small, but the guys who are coming up now are pretty big.
Chris Paul's always been small. Mike Conley's always been small since they got here.
They were drafted 15 years ago, 20 years ago. I'm talking about players who were drafted today. You can't think of a ton of lottery picks who were 6 feet tall over the last 5 years. You just can't. Reed Shepherd is one. Rob Dillingham is another. I'm saying in a weak draft, it might happen.
2 in last year's draft. Got that.
You get my point.
All right, Alejandro Soto said Shea getting locked up by Brown and help side non-jumping AG, Kobe and Steph.
That's the issue I have is like
this wasn't necessary, bro.
Every game,
put the quotations in there.
But every game seems to be like an indictment on like a player's career. Like Steph Curry has had really bad games and series, and he's struggled against certain matchups and physicality. There was a time where Steph Curry struggled against defenses that just switched everything. But he was still one of the greatest offensive players we've ever seen.
With that being said, Mars, at the time when Kobe was having stinkers, Magic was having stinkers, Shaq had stinkers, anybody had stinkers, it was talked about at that time. The issue is when SGA is currently having stinkers and you're talking about him like he's 06 Kobe or 16 Steph, it just amplifies the stinker. It's like, let the kid have his career. We're going to break down what's going on in real time. And then once he's an all-time great at the end, boom. But until that day comes, please leave this kid alone and let him play basketball.
I agree.
It's just hurting him. It's hurting him like it hurt Ant last year.
I get it. I just think it's an impossible conversation when I'm not with the Shea and Kobe stuff. I'm not with that. But I think it becomes an impossible conversation when we aren't even comparing Shea to Kobe. We're comparing Shea to the mythologized version of Kobe. The Kobe that didn't have bad games. The Kobe that apparently was just playing lockdown defense the whole game. The issue is that Kobe wasn't the Kobe that was actually playing at the time. But because we're so far removed from it, that's the Kobe Shea's being compared to. Obviously, Shea's not better than that Kobe. And once again, I also think he's not better than the real Kobe either. But it becomes an impossible conversation when Jokic to Shaq, for example, Jokic isn't being compared to Shaq. He's being compared to the Shaq that just physically overwhelmed everyone and played elite defense all the time. But that's not the Shaq that you actually got when it was unfolding. And while it was unfolding, I'm sure those things were discussed about Shaq. His effort on defense being questionable. Like, I'm sure those things were discussed at the time, but you get far enough removed from it that it doesn't come up in the conversations when they get compared to the superstars of today. and it makes the conversation practically impossible for the superstars of today to be a part of it, and that's where I get like thrown off a little bit. So it does do a disservice to the
people. Should go back and watch those players play full games and really watch them miss, because I think we live in highlight culture. Honestly, every time someone tells me about Cooper Flag or one of these draft prospects, I swear these people haven't watched a full game or 2 full games, and all they're doing is watching highlights of this guy dunking over everybody and saying this guy's going to be better than this guy and this guy and this guy. And it's just like we live in an era where we have diminished attention spans. People aren't going back watching Kobe in his first playoff run. I think they might have a lot more grace for certain players like Cade Cunningham. Like Cade just went through his first playoff run. He shot 17% from 3 or 14% from 3 or something terrible. Five turnovers. That's a growing pain. That is a natural evolution for a 23-year-old shot maker going through with a young roster. But if people watch Kobe in his first playoff run, they might have a lot of more empathy for that, but they don't remember.
Well,
that.
I mean, most of us did watch Kobe in their first run. And Mars, I understand what you're saying. Like we don't want to compare these people to the myth of the other person, right? I understand that, but I still think that most people that grew up in a time where they could watch this stuff, I think it's fair. I want to be fair to them because I want to be fair to myself. I know Kobe Bryant wasn't perfect in those times. I believe I'm comparing SGA to Kobe when he at his peak, still with flaws, and I still believe the SGA is not at that level of basketball player. And that's all. That's
always worth me.
The league is deeper.
Before anyone, I've tried to say it 4 times.
I know the pool. There's more people playing basketball. We know.
It's not just about that. It's just certain archetypes that typically isolation heavy guards could cook, like that standstill shooter who doesn't guard well, your Jason Caponos of the world. Those players don't exist in the NBA anymore. They simply do not. Your slow-footed big who can't guard
Jason Capono was still in the NBA. I swear to God, y'all wish Jason Capono.
It's a bunch of codes in the NBA right now. What are you talking about?
I know. I wish Jason Capono was still in the NBA.
Who is your standstill? Who is your standstill?
We need Steve Novak back.
I mean, what, Duncan Robinson? Even though he's not even that standstill. George Niang is a better defender than a lot of the players we're thinking about.
Duncan Robinson can't tie Steve Novak and Jason Capono's practice kicks.
Like the Nuggets actively have a couple guys that aren't great defenders.
No, I thought
I'm not saying great. I'm saying standstill, just corner shooter who just stands there and takes shots. He doesn't move. He doesn't have any off ball action. He doesn't have playmaking. He's just there for that. Or the big who just sucks up possessions and fouls out Shaquille O'Neal. Like those players just don't exist. Okay, those slow-footed bigs who can't guard in space, they're a dying breed. Okay, they typically get picked now. They used to get picked in the top 10 of the lottery. Now they're getting picked in like the bottom 50. Okay, if I told you 35 years ago that there was a guy like Brandon Carlson or Quentin Post who could stretch the floor the way they could, even the fact that they were older prospects coming into the draft, they would have been first rounders. Quentin Post would have been
getting his ass played. Quentin Post couldn't have played.
Yo, fellas, you know what this means?
Oh, it's time to go.
Peace.
Hold on. I got 2 more super chats. Austin MJ64 said, is no one going to say MPJ is a coin toss and OKC having an easy first round and a deep bench, plus last game being only 36 hours after game 3?
That'd be all right.
What do we have to say those things for?
Yeah.
Yes, Austin? Max. Edie did just get picked in the lottery, Max. Yes.
Hey, did. Austin, huh? But shout out to Austin MJ64. And last but not least, the baller shot caller 1999 said, maybe Denver knows. Don't bite on the pump fakes and try not to foul when he baits.
They've been really.
I think everyone knows not to jump on pump fakes. It's still just an instinct. Because sometimes good players are selling pump fakes. Like I think people know don't jump on a DeMar DeRozan pump fake, but somehow he was 15 years later and people are still jumping on. The fouling stuff. I mean, yeah, but I think the biggest thing is just like Shai's just got to be able to diagnose the coverages he's seeing. Like he's seeing aggressive coverages. Now I know we spoke about the one-on-one stuff, but there is a lot of times where he's seeing multiple bodies, multiple defenders. His driving lanes are cut off. He's just got to be better at recognizing that and make the decisions quicker. Because OKC should win quite easily based on the way Denver are defending them. As long as guys knock down the shots, obviously. But yeah, we'll see.
Boston all right, fellas. Y'all make sure to go vote on that poll and comment after this video. And oh yeah, Join the Telegram group chat where we're always constantly debating basketball off the show. It's a guy by the name of Alan L who's kind of annoying in that group. But other than that, it's a pretty good group of guys.
Shut up, my man Alan L. That's my dude.
But all right, y'all. We'll be back tomorrow to talk all about the draft and whether the Knicks go up 3-1 or whether Jason Tatum decides to show up tonight. We'll catch y'all on the flip side.
All right, y'all. Ben, Mars, Ron. Good show, fellas.